All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I am great, thank you. And what a couple of days we've had in the market. It has been just a roller coaster ride of excitement. Oh, we got no sound in the chat room.
No sound in the chat room. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah, let's hit that button. That button is important.
There you go.
Yes, let's hit that button.
Okay,
All right.
as we were saying, my goodness, what a roller coaster ride it has been in the markets, from the downs on Friday to the ups yesterday to I don't know what we're going to get today, but it's looking down. But we're going to talk about that because we got to give you all sort of the background. For those that already know, this will be a reminder. For those that don't, well, we'll catch you up on what you might have missed. Yeah, lots of stuff happening. All that aside, Carlos, how you doing this morning? Feeling good?
Feeling good, my friend. Can't complain. Things are good and doing well, man. So yeah.
That's good, and I think we're both feeling good here. We got some changes coming for you guys here in the pre-market show. We're going to mention it a couple of times this morning just to make sure everybody's on top of it, because starting tomorrow we're going to start changing up the format a little bit. You'll see bits at a time, but our intent is to sort of revamp what we're doing here. And we're going to be bringing it forward, starting with an earlier show. 8 o'clock is when we're going to start at tomorrow, effective tomorrow. And just to give a little bit more content and get ready for the market a little bit earlier. We're going to focus a little bit more on our strategies and our technical setups. What are we looking for? What are we going to do when the market opens? And of course, when we live trade, we're going to be sharing our trades as always and focus a little more on the strategy setups and what we're looking for. So all that should help, as well as, of course, the market background, all the information we give you to get you ready for this market open. So together we can trade these markets, and let's get out there and continue to make some money. On that, let's get to the stuff that's moving and grooving. Carlos, anything you wanted to add to that, by the way? Carlos is really the mastermind behind this, by the way, and is putting it all together. So
I just push buttons, man. I just push buttons here. That's all I do. So, no, Peter, well said. I mean, it'll be a new change. We never started that earlier on YouTube for pre-market prep, and we'll try it out, see how it goes, right? We're worth giving a shot. Now, for engineering the markets, that's going to stay in our chat room, but the idea is that will start at 8:30. Right, so that will stay in our chat room, will not be on YouTube, but it will start at 8:30. I see some confusion in chat this morning, but yeah, engineering the markets will start at 8:30 in our chat room, and then go from there straight to Andrew and those guys trading live in the chat. So we'll see how it goes. Looking forward to the change. I think it's a good one. We'll get more time to discuss things, Peter. Like our mornings gapper splits as we have here. We got a couple of stuff on there, a lot less than what we saw the last couple of days. It's been massive. Well, let me not speak too soon, because we've seen this before, and then it has gotten really bad, like in minutes later, as far as how much is on there. So just a few, very manageable. We'll dissect that in just a bit here. But Peter, let's go over some news and economic data.
I got to say, some of the stuff that's on there is really fun. I can't wait to get to it. I noticed a couple of you are talking about my background. You notice?
Yeah, so you're sitting at the exchange this morning.
Yeah, we're does it look real? I'm really here. No, I'm not. I just, I felt like my normal sort of room here was a little messy. So we're just trying up new stuff. Maybe this is a little much. It feels very busy. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Change is good.
And I did unintentionally. I put on blue, which matches the color of the background. So, in any event, but here we are. So in the market overall, let's take a look. I'm going to Trading Terminal. We'll take a look at the gappers list. I've got it on my screen, Carlos, or yours, whatever one we want to use. But we got a couple of small things early this morning. We did have the NFIB optimism that came out. You can see that came out slightly under the number 98.8 versus the 99.1 forecast. But it's a pretty light day. There's not really a lot of data. The home sales are coming out. You can see existing home sales for the month of February. We're going to come out at 10 a.m. Then the only other one is the Brent crude. And we should talk about that, oil prices, because that's really what drove the market largely yesterday. Now, is it going to move the market today? Well, that's a good, that would be a good question, right? If we could answer that, we could really sort of figure out what the market's actually going to do. I want to bring up some stuff because if we look at the futures here this morning, you can see that we're a little bit all over the place. Global futures are generally down on the markets, and they're also down on oil, but they're up on other commodities, right? You can see gold, like on the metals here, which is this midline, gold, silver, platinum, copper, all up. Whereas some of the what they call the soft commodities like orange juice and coffee and lumber and sugar are sort of in various ranges. So it's one that we don't normally look at, but we want to start to try and face it because, of course, yesterday we learned how important it was, right? I mean, just look at the crude oil prices. This is the price for the Brent oil, which is one of the key benchmarks. And we spiked to a high of $120 yesterday, and then all the way back down to 90, like over the course of the day. And that change in oil prices was largely due to two things, right? Well, we heard over the weekend and starting late last week the concern over the contraction of supply because of the lack of oil inventory or ships that are coming out of the Strait of Hormuz, right? And it's been largely shut down by the conflict in Iran. And Iran said they were not letting any ships through, and that controls they say it's about 20% of the world's oil supply that sort of flows through that strait. So, 20%, it means that we can survive, but prices are likely to increase because of the contracted supply. In response to that, the oil prices shot up over the weekend and we saw it go up, which of course had a depressive effect on the market because of course that creates inflationary pressures, especially in the US economy, which is what we're focused on. So yesterday in response, the administration and President Trump directly said, the war's almost over. Right? And you saw the market respond, didn't we? Like midday, the market just jumped on that comment. Now, I actually made the comment as I was in the chat room. I'm like, I don't think the market's going to move on that. The market has largely ignored statements out of the White House recently, but I was wrong because the market did move, and that seemed to be the catalyst that pushed it. Now, what I'm speculating right now, though, guys, is that that's going to put a lot of pressure on the administration to put their money where their mouth is, right? They got to prove it. It's one thing for Trump to get up there and just say the war's almost over. But unless the market sees that evidence, we could see this market start to slide quite heavily and even farther than it had been previously. So this could be a short-term, move higher here on the market, and get ready. We could lose it all unless there's proof. And it'd be great if there was. I think we'd like to see the conflict over. It feels unlikely to me that that's going to happen in the short term, but I mean, it's possible. So yeah, it puts the market in a very interesting space, right? We're a little more active on these news cycles, right? The market's going to be much more responsive to what we're going to be seeing from the macroeconomic picture and things that remember we've been saying how the markets largely ignored data. Late last week, was it Thursday or Friday? I can't remember which, when the non-farm payrolls came out. That was a big hit to the market when it came out with a negative number when they were expecting some growth. So the market suddenly says, maybe that data that we've been ignoring, maybe that's important. And I find it fascinating. So, this is just, it's all like I don't know. It's all up in the air. Like, who knows where we're going to go? But one way or the other, as day traders, what we need to be is focused on what we're seeing within the markets, right? Within these charts so that we can take advantage as we're looking to take a trade. And as I've said, I don't know how many times, and I'm going to keep saying it, guys, don't assume a direction for the market based on what we see pre-market. We've seen like almost every day, if the market's gapping down, it can easily move higher at the open. I mean, heck, yesterday, you don't need any more examples than just what we saw yesterday with the market gapping down, and look where we ended. So This market can go anywhere. So here we are, gapping down this morning by about 0.25% on the large market indices, on the SPY and the Qs. So it's I'm not taking any bets at this point. I'm just going to wait and see. Let's see where we go. But on our way to that, we can take a look at I was also looking at fuel prices. That was one thing I was going to mention to you guys as well. I found it fascinating. I didn't realize AAA tracks the fuel prices across America. Carlos, where are you
I
at?
never seen this. I'm in
Yeah, you're over here. Where are you? You're in Jersey.
yeah,
Where are
right
you? Down here.
under New
Four,
York. Yeah, there it
three,
is.
$3.44 is your price. So you're
Yeah.
about mid-range compared to California's the high point at $5.29 in the nation, and the low point's over here in Kansas at $2.96, which is interesting. Mike's got his house in California where he just went from there to his place in. Well, actually, I think he's up in Oregon right now. What's Oregon? Where's Oregon? $4.25. So, anyways,
Yeah.
but yeah, I forgot. He actually went up north to Oregon right now. So Mike's going between like the low and the high and the midpoint. And anyways, Mike, if you're driving, your gas prices must be all over the place. But here you go. So it's fascinating to me how gas prices get cheaper in the middle of America. Why is that? It's the farthest away from the coast and the refineries and the shipment of oil. It seems odd to me, but anyways, there must be a reason for it.
Hmm. Yeah,
Anyways.
interesting. I mean, everybody in California drives Tesla anyway, so the price could go to $10. Doesn't anybody just drive Teslas out there, right?
Well,
And
we're going to talk
Wemos?
about that. Yeah, maybe that's a good segue over to the gappers list because we can start to look at
Yeah.
some of the stuff that is gapping, probably because of these gas prices.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see tons of EVs here doing well. Go figure. Of Rivian leading the way, and I'm not sure where Tesla is, but we'll take a look at that in a second. But let's start here, guys. Rivian on deck this morning. First one leading our gappers list, and we are up 6% today. It's the Jeep that looks like is ready to transform with the bubbly eyes, and they also make the Amazon delivery trucks. That I know they're not in Canada, but they're just an army of these dark blue trucks over here in Jersey, at least. I'm not sure, and probably other urban areas as
Well,
well.
and Rivian's been the darling of Hollywood, right? And production studios for the last couple of years, and we've talked about this in the past. Check out if you see any futuristic type sci-fi show that's been produced that's sort of real world based, but just set a few years in the future. It's all Rivians. I don't understand why, but for whatever reason, that's what Hollywood thinks is the most futuristic looking vehicle, and they seem to have Rivians everywhere. So, in any event, I found that fascinating. Every time I'm watching a show, I'm like, and there's another one, and
Yeah.
there's another one, and anyways, so
Um,
they
the, these
that's
guys
how
are
they
up,
got.
man. 5.8, 865,000. And they have traded well in the past, Peter. What's the news on them? Obviously, oil prices, but anything else going on?
Well, it is. It seems to be largely oil prices, and as a result, TD and a couple of others have upgraded Rivian this morning. So they put them into a buy from a hold status, which is the first time they've got some decent upgrades in a little while. In fact, they were being downgraded quite a bit through 2026, and it looks like maybe the sentiment is changing. Nothing new on their deliveries or their orders. Really the company's been quiet, but the speculation is Lucid and Rivian are going to benefit. Of course, Tesla will also benefit. That's pretty much a given with oil prices spiking higher. But again, we got to remember oil prices going higher is something that the administration is trying to fight. Because that's not good. Oil prices going up has a lot bigger impact than just the price at the pumps, but that's one of the things that voters look at quite heavily, right? And Carlos, we were talking about this just yesterday, I think, right? I mean,
Yeah.
people might like their electric cars, but there are a lot of pickup trucks out there in the US, and
Oh, yeah.
they take a lot of gas.
Yeah, and it's funny that if you look at the map for where we saw the most Ford F-150, it's all these blue areas. Like it's right in the middle, not
Uh-huh.
California, but it's all these blue areas you have here with the lower price.
Well, there
These
you
are
go.
all going down to Florida. All the best-selling vehicle is the Ford F-150, which is wild. But yeah, we'll
There
see
you
how
go.
things get affected there. Um, Talking about Rivian makes me think about Tesla, of course. So if we look at Tesla here, Tesla, they do their own thing. But they're up here this morning. They're almost 0.5%, 1 million shares traded. I'm going to have this on deck. I think I'm also going to have Rivian. Rivian looks good as well. I like the pre-market action. So I think both of them will be good to have on our list this morning. And I don't see any other EVs on here besides Rivian and Tesla, which is going to be on my watch list.
Well,
So,
Let,
yeah.
let me mention another EV because it could also be maybe indirectly causing it. NIO, N-I-O. NIO had earnings overnight, like sort of this morning overnight, because I mean, it's a Chinese company. So they basically reported overnight or super early this morning and had a good quarter. They beat their numbers, delivering 4.95 billion in the quarter in revenue and over delivered. They actually made a profit or at least reported a profit. They were supposed to lose 5 cents a share, and they actually made a penny per share. So they've, nothing. Their forecast looks about the same. They're continuing to forecast between 80 and 83,000 vehicle deliveries in the next quarter, which is Q1 of their 2026 year, and so which is about on par. That's what analysts were expecting. So nothing huge there. Neo is a tough one. Like I'd love to be able to trade Neo because there was a day we used to trade Neo and it was awesome. Like it was a
Yeah.
great stock to trade. But now, unfortunately, if you look at it, like just pull up a 5 minute chart, even from yesterday, you can see this thing trades in a 1 penny range. It's all mostly all algos. I mean, it looks horrible. And even if you like get a 1 minute chart, it looks even worse, right? And so if you've ever tried to watch this thing, it is just impossible to trade. It's algos trading this. So I don't know that it's going to get any better today. I think Rivian's the better play. So it's good that Neo had some good numbers, but they don't sell in North America, right? So Neo and Rivian are not competing in the same market space, geographical market space, and we'll. So the effect is indirect, but I guess any news on EVs is good. I mean, the other one to watch, of course, is Tesla, right? And Tesla, it just doesn't move quite as much. It's such a larger stock pre-market. It is up. It's up 0.6%. It's got over 1 million shares already this morning, so it's a little more active. And and it looks good, but it always looks good. I mean, I like trading Tesla on almost any day. It's good to see it back over $400 here this morning. So I mean, it did end yesterday on a very high note. It sort of spiked higher and closed. Where did it close? It actually closed at just below 400 at 398, but it had spiked to a high of like 401, something like that, 402. I
Yeah,
think it was 401.
401.50 or so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, definitely, this area is a place that it's comfortable. If you look at daily, you can see, I mean, we spent a lot of time above this price in the last 6 months. So I think Tesla's, got every opportunity. Just needs just a slightly positive, supportive market, and Tesla could absolutely move higher. So Tesla and Rivian, I think, are your best two bets if you want to watch the EV space today. So that's one space, but let's go back to the gappers list because we've got some fascinating stuff that's moving today. I'm really excited to talk about this stuff because
I can't
I
wait.
love.
I'm not sure which one you're
Oh,
talking about, but I can't wait to get to it. So
oh
let's
man, it's all
let's keep rolling
it's so
through.
gossipy. It's all gossip that
Is
I
is
just
is
I'm
it
loving.
is it with hymns or any other ones? Which
No,
one?
not even. Not well.
No,
Again,
better than
I don't want
that.
to ruin the surprise.
Oh,
We'll
I
get
love it.
there. All right,
Well,
but let's
let's
talk
get
about
there.
hymns.
Let's get there.
Hims had some gossip-like news yesterday, but
Yeah.
it's actual fact. So they were in a battle, right, with Novo Nordisk, which was sort of suing them for patent infringement and suggesting that they had, sort of, copied their flagship drug, of course, Ozempic, we all know about, which is Novo Nordisk, and everybody wants a weight loss drug, right? So Hims and Hers, is famous for selling on their sites their knockoff type brands, and Novo Nordisk took issue with that. Well, they kissed and made up. So they dropped. Novo Nordisk not only dropped the lawsuit, but amazingly agreed to sell Ozempic right through Hims and Hers. It was such an about face that it had an amazing move yesterday, and it looks like it's continuing today. A lot of that move was pre-market, of course. When we actually got to the trading intraday, it wasn't that great if you were trying to get a big long. So again, this is where you got to be careful. Like the move was great. If you look at the gap, if you look at a daily chart, you'd be like, yesterday was awesome, right? Look at that. Look at that big gap up. But look at the actual trading over the day. We went from 15 to 22, $23, right? However, intraday, the price actually barely moved in about a $1.50 range, right? Between 21 and 22.50, or right? So it really didn't trade all that well. But we are gapping up a little bit more, another 5% this morning. It's up another dollar. You know, I love the news. It's sort of cool what happened. Intraday, him's not my favorite thing to trade. So,
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a big fan of yesterday's price action. And we see it trading much better, and yesterday was not it. All right, let's look at Joby on the list here. This comes on and off. Oh, Peter's getting excited already. I can see here
this is
this
the one
morning.
I've been waiting for.
Look at the gap up from
Just because.
after hours last night. And Peter is so excited. He can't wait for me to get through the volume and the price action because he wants to let you know what's going on. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear it. But so far, 1.2 million shares traded. We are up 3% this morning. Peter, give us what's happening because I think you might have an idea.
All right, this is just I just love this because it feels ridiculous, but this is what's happening. So, Joby and their competitor Archer Aviation, right? These are the two leading companies in human-based drone travel. I'm not sure what we should call it. They're calling it eVTOL, vertical takeoff electric vehicles, right? Basically, they're giant drones that you can get into and fly yourself around. They are not approved yet for commercial use in North America, but they've got trials in Dubai and other places in the world where they're testing these out. They've got contracts to deliver services for the Olympics in the US in 2028. I think that's when the Olympics are happening. They've got so like they're building, they're getting there, right? They're working hard to make this commercial. Remember that there was that deal where Uber is going to have be able to you're going to be able to book your own little drone chopper thing, right? Through Uber. So, this is moving. This is the real industry, and it's getting ugly. So both Joby and Archer. So from a market perspective, what's fascinating to me is both of these came through special purpose acquisition vehicles, or SPACs. Now, we don't talk about SPACs a lot because largely what happens is people put this, it's basically a bucket of money that they can buy companies. And it's a sort of it's almost like a backdoor way to get your stock listed on the stock market. And both of these companies did exactly that, right? They basically took over or sort of were bought into these SPACs, which previously existed, and that's how they got publicly traded. And then they renamed the SPAC for the company, right? So this is why Joby's on our list. However, so that's the background of how they got onto the market. What's fascinating is that these guys are in a knock them down, drag them out competition for business. So, and a Joby executive back in November or earlier, sometime last year, a Joby executive left and went to Archer. Joby then in November of last year sued Archer, saying that executive took trade secrets with them, and Archer applied them in their business. So they put out this big lawsuit, right? Said, we're suing you for our lawsuit. Well, today, so that's been ongoing for a couple of months. Well, today, Archer countersued Joby Aviation and alleging that they have defrauded the U.S. government, that they falsely representing themselves as an American company, that they have deep ties to China, and that they fraudulently reporting their earnings. So there's a whole lot of stuff in there, right? They're saying that they're not even a U.S. company. They got ties to the Chinese government, that they're falsifying their data. Joby, when reached for comment, said, "We have no comment because we don't respond to nonsense." So
Wow.
this is the quote from their lawyer. Archer's constant legal issues and flailing. So this is Joby's lawyer talking about Archer, right? This is their response. It just feels like this is Archer's constant legal issues and flailing business operations have left them no choice but to resort to invented, nonsensical theories. We'll see them in court. I love this. I love it.
Man.
So they're slinging mud. They're throwing
Yeah.
lawsuits at each other. They're like catching, casting shade on each other's businesses. It is it is ridiculous, right? And as I said, if all this is going on from a legal and corporate perspective, it makes me even less likely to get into one of those drone
Oh yeah.
thingies out there. Because I mean, if that's the craziness that's happening, sort of in the front office, I don't have a lot of confidence the back office is running smoothly and that those things are as safe as I want them to be. So if you haven't seen them, by the way, guys, this is Carlos on my shared screen there. This is what these things look like. They're basically giant drones you get into, right? So this is the
Yep.
Joby one, Archer's Aviation one. They're black, but they look very similar. So all of that to say, I find it fascinating. What I'm interested in, can I trade it? I love watching these stocks just because they've done some interesting stuff. They're tough to trade. Yesterday, Joby actually
Yeah.
traded pretty well. Now, it's already got 1.3 million shares. I am hoping it's going to be tradable today because I just think it looks a lot of fun. I like where it sits here. The fact that they've come back so strongly with this, despite the ones being hit by the lawsuit, the counter lawsuit, they seem to be in a strong position on this. And I think, I don't know, we'll have to see. But I'm going to be watching them just to see what happens.
Yeah.
It's too fun not to, in my opinion.
There's so much space for both of them to do well. They should be working together, not doing this crap. But it is what it is. They got to kind of adapt what the airlines do, where they have their sections, their airports. They got to go into that model because they could both learn from each other. But interesting stuff, man. How well this thing is going to trade, I'm not sure, but I like the volume. I think it's worth putting on a secondary today, Peter, and just seeing how things react when we get closer to the market open. Right now, pre-market is pretty flat for the most part. But I like the back and forth here. I like the drama. I like the drama, so I'm gonna put
I
this here
like the drama. But
on the secondary
again,
list. Yeah.
wait,
So
wait. The movie will be coming out sometime.
yeah. Oh yeah. Everything has a documentary now. You
Yeah.
you 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 by mistake, walk aside and step on a cat. That's a documentary. There's gonna be a whole full blown Netflix series on you stepping on the cat, right? So it is what it is. All right, let's see here. So that's Rivian, that's Hims, and then Joby. And let's look at GLW, and then we'll bounce around a little bit because some of the stuff doesn't trade very well. So we'll skip some of that. We'll look maybe at a Bitcoin. We haven't talked about that in a bit, and see if any other Chinese tickers. How is China doing with this oil stuff? That really affects them. I wonder how their thing is doing here, but we'll look at that in a second. GLW is up 2.8, 332,000 shares traded. Has been somewhat in place since January, end of January. You can see on the daily here we got some really nice move. What is this? This is GLW. Corning Incorporated. We spoke about this
Yeah.
not so long ago, Peter.
Yeah. It's sort of a weird one. Corning is a big producer of fiber optic cables. Which, if you just asked me, I never would have thought so. But watching the markets here, we learned that a little while back, where that's where their biggest profit was coming from. So fiber optic cables is a huge part of their business. Apparently, in some interview, Broadcom CEO said that actually they're moving back to copper for their AI data centers over fiber optic. And I wish I had more time to find the details of this, but basically that's thinking it's got the market thinking that perhaps there might be a move away from some of Corning's offerings and back to good old classic copper. It seems odd to me, but anyways, it is gapping higher this morning despite those comments. But as you can see, it was up a little bit higher and then it's gapping down. So this is not one that typically gets enough volume, sustained volume for us to trade, Carlos. I mean, today it might have a little bit more attention, but I'm highly skeptical we're going to get a good trade on it.
Yeah, it does not seem like my type of stock. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. All right, let's stop here. Let's look at MSTR. I see a lot of you guys calling it out already, and see what's going on there. We'll see if any other Bitcoins or tickers are moving. MSTR, we are up 2.3 this morning, 474,000 shares traded. But again, it's just been, yes, you're getting a little bit of a pops here and there, but not a whole lot. It just seems like this range is getting tighter and tighter, or just slightly moving higher. But I'm not seeing anything great on there, and I think today we might see some other stuff trade a little bit better. So, Peter, I don't see anything that I like on it at the moment. It's got a little bit of volume, but won't be on my list today.
Yeah, I mean, look, Bitcoin had a decent overnight session. They were sitting yesterday afternoon around $68,000 a Bitcoin. It spiked up to 71,000 this morning. Not a huge move. I mean, normally for, the way Bitcoin used to trade, we would totally ignore that. $3,000, ugh, it's nothing, right?
Yeah.
But these days it's settled down. It doesn't move anywhere near as much as it used to. So the fact that it's back over 70,000 for a Bitcoin is good. It does seem to be floating a lot of the companies that have invested heavily in either treasury strategies or Bitcoin mining are moving higher as a result. I like you said, probably not a lot of trading opportunity. The ones that give the most steady, focus, I guess, trading that you can usually focus on, I still think are Coin and Hood because they're not directly, dependent on the price of Bitcoin. What they want is movement in the price because as the sort of the I don't know, clearinghouse, the agencies, right? They run the market, so they've got a little bit broader, especially Robinhood, which has got a much broader based business. So
Yeah. I do like both of these today. Maybe Coin. Looking to decide if I could add one of these to my list. Maybe Coin seems to have a little more movement in their daily. So I'll put it on a secondary just to watch what's going on there. But again, nothing overall fantastic on that one. All right, that kind of covers the gap up, Peter. Anything else you'd like to go over before we get started? And look, already you can see how this thing is growing a little bit from where we started. So a lot more tickers coming in on deck this morning. BAT-L continues to show up on the list. We've been talking about that for some time. Seems to be the one that is getting the most aggressive moves. Again, not directly with oil, but seems to be acting like that a little bit. So Peter, anything you like on the gap up before we get to our gap down?
Baba is on the list this morning. They're gapping up a little bit. Some positive feedback out of the Chinese market. There was some change of leadership, and they're adding some more people. Everybody's got an AI model, especially these big companies. Alibaba, of course, has got their Quinn model, is what they're calling their large language model. And there's been a lot of AI news recently, right? Here, it's funny how they focus on people. It's like there's like superstar people they expect to really drive the industry. I don't know this industry that like from an inside that well to know how influential are the individual leaders. Are they really like that impactful, or are they just like part of a team? I really don't know. But so, anyways, one of the key people of their Quen model resigned. Lin Junwang resigned and took a couple of staff with them when they left, and that said, "Oh, is that mean that there's problems?" And of course, Baba has been working to say there's no problems. It's just people leave, and we got some new people that are coming in, and anyways, they hired somebody called Zhu Hao, who's a senior person who used to work with Alphabet and Google's DeepMind. So like it feels like this is just an industry where they keep trading people, right? And it makes sense, right? If you're in one of the hottest sectors with these multi-trillion-dollar companies running around out there, everybody's going for the big bucks. And you know
Yeah.
what? I can't blame them. Why not, right? You got to strike while the iron's hot, and you're going to get a multi-million-dollar signing bonus by moving over here and better stock options. So this is going to happen. So
Yeah.
um,
Smart on them to do that. So
I
yeah.
mean, and like I said, there's been a lot of news in this industry. We haven't talked a lot because it's not publicly traded, but Anthropic, of course, has been large in the news a lot with their CEO taking on the U.S. government, saying that they, sort of don't want to provide their AI engine without some safeguards. Specifically, there was two things that they specifically said they didn't want it to do, right? Provide mass monitoring of the American public. So no sort of invasive monitoring of you as American individuals, Carlos and others.
Mm,
And
mm.
then the second was not to use their model for completely autonomous warfare, meaning that they would actually make decisions and launch weapons without any human interaction whatsoever. And the US government refused. So they're basically and immediately started to cancel their contracts because they refused to do it. And they went to OpenAI, who said, "Don't worry, we'll put safeguards in," and of course willing to pick up those contracts from the government. So now Anthropic is suing. That was announced this morning that they're now suing the government. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. So like all of that. Frankly, I find terrifying. I have to be. This is just an anecdote for Peter here, but I'm very sympathetic to Anthropic's position because
Yeah.
we're playing with tools that we don't fully understand. I mean, everybody who works in the industry has openly admitted we don't even know how they fully work, right? Because once the whole point of AI is that you're setting up something that sort of thinks and evolves on its own. And that
Yeah.
evolution process is just at a rate and a process that we can't follow. So anyways, I find it like we don't even know how social media works, guys. Like we're like we're
Yeah.
we're we're,
It's
we're smart
yeah.
enough to create it, but not smart enough to know how to manage it. So anyways, it worries me, but that's just me sitting on the sidelines. All that aside, hey, I'm still alive here and I'm trading the markets, and the robot uprising hasn't yet happened, so whatever. I don't have to worry about it today.
Yeah, robots with AI capabilities and missiles and guns are probably not a great idea right now. All right, we're not there yet. All right, let's continue, friends. Our gappers list brought to you by TradingTerminal.com. You can always head over there and get this list and many other tools to get your trading going here. On the downside, not so much. It says BNTX is on here. These guys are down 17%, biotech companies. So again, just getting a bit of a drop there. 1.1 million shares traded on this one, Peter. Clearly something not going well this morning.
Yeah, early this morning they had earnings, and they basically it wasn't as good as anticipated. This is not one of the ones I was tracking. They did good on revenue. They overachieved on revenue, but they missed drastically on their bottom line earnings with a lot of escalating costs. So this is BioNTech, a German biotech company. Anyways, so yeah, they're dropping this morning. Probably not tradable.
Yeah, yeah. Here's Coles. Coles is not doing so hot this morning. These guys are down 3.3, and I know they're feeling the pressure. So down 3.3, 981,000 shares traded. They were talking about this morning, Peter, about their new CEO and how he has not been able to turn things around. What is there to turn around? You're a retail store. You're going downhill. It's just there's nothing you could do about it. I don't care how good you are. It's going downhill. The kids, and I say kids in a very respectful way, are not going into the store. They're ordering online. It's not
Yeah.
happening. So I don't care how good of a CEO you are, retail stores, unless you're Walmart, you're going down. It's just that's the expectancy of these retail stores. So they're down today 2.8. Obviously not doing so well.
Yeah, and their sales, continue to drop. They're trying to shore it up, but it's just not working. Like you said, I mean, it's a tough business model to be in when so much is moving online. I mean, I shop online a lot more than I go to stores. I've never liked going to stores, and when there's an option, I generally will take it. So Kohl's, yeah, they missed on revenue. They actually beat on their bottom line earnings. So they're maintaining profitability, but that doesn't help when your sales keep dropping, which is the key thing that people are looking at. And of course, their forward-looking guidance was lower than the analyst had hoped, and that is problematic. So Kohl's, we only see this 4 times a year. Carlos, I have traded in the past. I've gotten some good trades on it, I'll admit. But it is a NYSE stock. It trades in the New York Stock Exchange, so you got to be careful with it. Wait for that volume to come in. Again, I just feel like there's much more interesting things out there today. So I might put it on a secondary just to watch, but I don't have high hopes it's going to give a good trade option. I feel like oil, autonomous eVTOL vehicles and other stuff seems more exciting today.
Yeah, yeah. And you had to see some of the, like we have a Coast by us that closed down about a year ago. You had to see the massive retail space that they had. Individual stand-up alone store. It's just massive. And for the last 3 years when they were open, it's three people in there. Like you were in there, and the only reason I went in there is because they had an Amazon. Very smart. They had an Amazon return center, so you can return your Amazon stuff in that codes. That's the only time I went in there. Where's the second floor? I'm looking for the Amazon return place. I'm not there to buy. And there's three people in there in this massive building. So they should have started closing these store downs a long time ago, save some of that retail money, and get into smaller mall spaces. But yeah, these guys, you're right. They missed the boat, like you're saying there in the chat. All right, that's Coast. I'm not going to add it. I think it trades poorly as far as intraday trading. Here's one that could be interesting. It's Oxy. Right, so Oxy this morning down 2.4, 668,000 shares traded. They had a couple of days in the span of the last. We're going on the 10-day today of the conflict here, but they had a couple of days in here that actually were really good trading days, and then there were some other ones that were just not good at all. They were very, very choppy, and yesterday was one of them. So looking good here this morning, but not sure, Peter. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I don't like it as much. Frankly, it was the go-to oil stock last time we had massive moves in the market, and we were watching Oxy every day. Today, the one that you want to watch every day, in my opinion, is Battle. I mean, again, I don't know why Battalion Oil was the one that came to the forefront, but who cares why? It's moving well. It's got this increased volume. Now, the volume is starting to taper off. If you look at a daily chart, right, yesterday it was lower volume than the day before, which was lower volume than the day before that. But, if it still holds at least this 20 million shares that it had yesterday, it could still be good. I mean, the movement was good yesterday. It wasn't maybe in the direction you wanted. It was down, but it was still decent. And I think it traded better than Oxy yesterday. So I suppose you could pick, those or others. But, for my money, I think Battalion is the battalion. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know why my mouth will not make that sound. Anyways.
Yeah.
Battalion Oil. That should be the one to trade.
Yeah, there you go. All right, friends. Again, and not really much in the gap down list. That kind of covers everything. Yeah, we'll continue to set up here right now. Only HIMS and Tesla on my list. We'll see what else comes up here. How about travel? I know the travel companies are getting affected with all the oil and prices. I know American Airlines took a dip. They come back here, but not doing a whole lot this morning. So pretty quiet for the most part. Good morning, Andrew. How are you doing today, my friend?
I am good. How are you doing?
Doing good.
I am good. So I am a little bit early in the morning. I wanted to see what's happening with the markets. It seems that oil is still dropping and the market futures are green. So, Peter, are you in Nasdaq?
Yeah, that's me. I'm sitting on the Nasdaq floor here.
I love that. Yeah.
And he's got the blue shirt matching it too. It's nice.
Yeah, I have to learn how to actually do that. I have to how to join that as well. So to put the Nasdaq in there.
Yep. Andrew, have you had a chance to look at what you're watching this morning as you prepare for the market open?
So yesterday, Brian and I we got short on the Microsoft NVDA puts, which was Brian's idea. That was really amazing. So we're still managing this short of Microsoft and NVDA puts for the end of this week. NVDA is at 175. So what Brian saw was his idea was that NVDA has been really holding the 175 into the daily chart. As you see here, the daily chart has been very, very strong. We had a couple of really strong bounce on NVIDIA daily chart. Even though the world is, on fire, NVIDIA has been holding very nice this 175. And also, as a matter of fact, we have the 200 moving average here on a daily chart. So it's usually 200 moving average is a very, very strong, defensive area. So what we did was right around here, we sold 175 puts. So we got $2.40 per contract. I sold 100 contracts. So that's $24,000 for the week. And, the bounce happened after the president announced that the war is going to be ending soon. So that contract really went down and we're doing really well. I covered half of my contracts yesterday. As soon as the rally get, usually when you're selling the puts or calls, you want to get out of it half of it. So as I covered half of it for about $11,000, and now there is $11,000 left for the next few days. If today gap up, or which kind of seems strong, goes higher, I'll probably take another half. And these are the naked puts, so you don't want to really expose yourself too much, especially when you get over 50% profit. So that was really nice. And I think NVDA probably stays in my watch list for trading right now. It's getting into a very serious resistance area, as you see. There are moving averages and could have some trouble. But overall, we look at the market. If the market shows a strength, and if it starts trading within this range, we call it yesterday range, previous day range, it could be pretty choppy. So what we really need is that after you have a really nice consolidation on a daily chart, what you really hope is to essentially hope you could get up or get out of this range, and that's really usually volatility increases. So NVDA definitely would have been my watch list. PLTR has been another thing that has been getting through a range that is a little bit difficult to trade. PLTR is a defense sector company, is all the big data and all this tracking system for the wars that they're using that. So again, I'm gonna look it. But right now it's within the range, so it might be pretty choppy. And of course, Tesla is the jewelry of our stock market in the US that has been pretty good. Again, it's gapping up a little bit. So, but again, all of these moving averages are there, so it could be a little bit choppy. But I look at it and see potential, opening range break up or break down would be for me something that I seriously want to look into that.
Yeah, I like that. One of the things I was looking at is Rivian too. I forgot to add Rivian to my list, so I am going to do that as well. So Rivian and Tesla both are on the list this morning. All right, yeah. Excellent.
Sure.
All right.
So one thing that is very important, guys, is that you have to be ready for both scenario at the open. So if you want to take it to the long side or to the short side, it's very important to be ready. One of the tools that helps you to get an understanding of what might happen is looking at the market atlas. The market atlas is a depth of market liquidity. So what you can look at it is see if there are big orders to the upside. Like right now for Tesla, it seems that it is. So around 401, 402. So that could be an area that the orders want to go toward that. So we really look at the market atlas, which is the depth of market, to finding the liquidity. So right now I see some really big orders at 403, while we really don't have much orders to the downside. So the book is kind of bullish on market atlas.
Looks good.
Excellent. Carlos, why don't we quickly remind everybody, if you want to go to bearabletraders.com, it's a great place to join if you want to join the chat room and be part of the community. And by the way, the funded account is going strong, guys. We have a lot of stuff going on with that funded account. If you go to our website now and click on funded, I've got it on my shared screen, or you can click it right there, Carlos, if you hit that. It's amazing to see how well people are doing. And the real funded payouts, right? You can see all the people that got paid out, and you can actually get live tracking of the individuals who are sort of right now active in their funded accounts. And it's great. Josh D was one that sort of second on list, or you can click on any one of them and you can sort of see their relative performance. And it's sort of fascinating to see what other people are doing, right, and the stats on their data. So check it out, right, and it might encourage you to check out a funded account. If you don't want to trade live in your own account, this is a great way to do it and get paid for while you're learning, right? I think it's a great opportunity. So bearabletraders.com, check that out. Of course, you can always
like for example, this trade that Carlos is showing right now, this trader had some really good trades at the open, so at the beginning, and now he's kind of established a winning trade, and he really wants to finish the 3 months challenge and get the $10,000. It's pretty successful. See, this is the point that a lot of traders get there. Sometimes you get the beginner's luck, you get something, and then now question is, can you keep that money? Right. And this trader seems like really, really doing well in keeping that money, even though he had just one big loss of $6,000. But he's been really successful at maintaining his money. His day win is 58%, so 60% of the time he's winning. So it's amazing that you can actually see the fascinating, including the traders that are still in the competition. So you can see the top 10 or top five traders that are still open, so you can track them. Obviously, you don't see the full name or information, but you can see their trades and cheer for them.
Yeah.
Cheer them on.
I like it.
Absolutely.
That is amazing.
Good.
Silver is also hitting up, Peter. I don't know if you discussed or not, but silver seems that back in play is breaking out this range that was choppy. Now again, the retail traders love silver, as you see here. Silver is gapping up toward this consolidation range that we had. The problem with the silver is that because it's a commodity, so it doesn't really trade like Tesla. So the VWAP and other levels are a little bit not as accurate as them. So you have to look at the futures price because they're really essentially trading based on the commodities.
Yeah,
I
we
like the
mentioned
Nasdaq more. I
a
like the
little bit
Nasdaq
of the futures. Yeah. We talked about some of the futures in the commodity market. Gold, silver, platinum, precious metals were generally up this morning.
Yeah.
But I see you're drinking your coffee. Coffee futures are down though, Andrew. So
Yeah. So I mean, people don't drink as much as coffee right now. Everybody's so excited with the war. Everybody's so overstimulated, I guess.
So, Manik, you're asking what platform do the funded accounts trade on? They trade right in Trading Terminal. So we've got a live simulator you can use in Trading Terminal, and it uses that environment. So,
Yeah. Peter, I like the Nasdaq background more.
yeah, I was just playing with things. Sorry, we can make those adjusted, anytime we want. But the other question that I just saw in there, Jared, this was sort of funny. Jared was saying, "Hey, can we bet on those traders there?" So you know how we have all of these. What do they call them now, Carlos? We were talking about these before.
Prediction market.
The prediction markets. We
Yeah.
need to start our own prediction market, and that way, that's maybe another source of a revenue there. We can.
No, but here's a very important thing, guys. If I might share a screen here, I like to share my screen because I want to show you a trading floor in Tanzania that the traders that they don't have a lot of work over there. So this is one of our traders that has created a trading floor in Tanzania. And you guys can actually see my screen. I can go through the screen, and then these guys are sitting behind the computer in trading terminal and learn how to trade together. And actually, we had 3 traders so far, $10,000, profit from trading terminal. 3 different traders. So as you see, this is what I want. I want really traders to, that's my book here, the 2 of my books here. This is trading terminal. This is the browsers that they're working, and I love that. These guys are amazing, and I really, really want the trading to change my life. A lot of people who have been following me, trading has changed my life. I travel all around the world. I climbed the biggest mountains, and as an engineer, I didn't make much money, but now as a trader, so that's exactly what I want traders to go through this process. And what is $200? Everybody can afford the $200 to go through this process and learn how to trade. I love that. This is Tanzania, one of our traders. Thank you for building Trading Terminal. More people are coming to learn US stock trading with Trading Terminal. And, it's on this couple of pictures. And we also have a trading replay feature. So even the market is closed, those time they can actually work on the replay feature, and they refine their skills and strategy. That's amazing. Like, I love that. Like, this is just exactly what I was hoped to. Systematic, trading allow people to make an income. And, I love that. I'm super excited for these guys.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have a team like that. That's pretty cool.
That
All right,
is
friends.
I'll send that this one also. You can actually send it to the chat. You can actually go talk to them yourselves and about their experiences and everything. So here it is. I'm gonna put this one here. Oops, sorry.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're getting closer to the open here. We're about 6 or 5.5 minutes away, so we're getting closer. I'm starting to think about where I want to position myself for these trades. I see Joby jumping up above the VWAP. I'd be looking for maybe what we call our fallen angel type trade on that, which means I'd like to see this thing pull back to the VWAP and go higher. That might be a trade opportunity. I said I'm trying not to predict where the market goes, but I've got to have sort of a setup, right, that I'd be looking for right at the open if I was going to trade something. Unlike something like Tesla, where you look at it right now, and I don't know where Tesla's going to go. It's pretty flat. The last few minutes, look how flat it's been, right? And it's not going anywhere. So we were up high early this morning. We dropped, back down a little bit. Right now, the market's saying it's not really sure which direction it wants to take it. Now, Tesla often will jump higher at the open, like NVIDIA, for example, but you can't just assume that's what's going to occur. So right now, I don't see really a trade strategy that I can sort of prep myself with or get ready for the market with. So we'll wait and see where that goes. What else were we watching? We were watching Kohl's early on, which again had weak results. I'm sort of surprised to see Kohl's sitting where it's at. I don't think this is going to be, you know, a super awesome trade, to be honest. So I don't hold out a lot of hope that that's going to give us an opportunity. But HIMS still looks to be in play. I'm going to be watching that at the open and just see where it goes, because it's been so, you know, last 2 days, right, with the news, it's been moving so well. We'll see what it does.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, friends, let's get some levels in place. So my list is HIMS, Rivian, and Tesla and NVIDIA. And guys, if you liked Andrew here coming in the morning, giving us his breakdown, we can have him again tomorrow. So that'll be part of the new change we're doing. Again, we'll be starting a little bit earlier at 8 a.m. Gives us time to go through a lot more things. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect from the chat because Andrew will be going back to the chat room and trading live with our members there. We told you guys how you can actually join to be part of the community. All right, let's jump right in. Let's get some levels in place. I'm going to start here with HIMS. Oh, hold on. All right, so let's go. I got to mute Andrew. HIMS. All right, so here it is. HIMS. High of the pre-market at the morning, we're looking at 24.15, and towards the bottom, the low of the pre-market pretty much slamming right into the previous day close. So don't got to worry about that. Towards the bottom, the low from yesterday doing a great job there on 21. And then below that, we got the gap down. We had beginning of February, looks like 19.39. Above here, we do have a not a big level. I'm going to mark this one here, 25.57. You got a day closing there. Not a big one. The big level is this one here, 26.74. So let's see what HIMS does. Yesterday, it was a little messy yesterday. So let's see if it trades better today. But yesterday was very choppy, as Peter mentioned. Let's see if today can give us a better breakout. Once the news has settled down, this thing didn't sell back down. So hopefully it can hold here and actually give us a decent opportunity. All right, Rivian is next. I forgot to add this earlier, but I think it is a fun one to watch. I like the news behind it, everything going on with EVs and oil prices and gas prices, as we mentioned earlier. 16.99 is the high of the pre-market. Above here is 17.64, and then right up here 18.46. It's so funny how the market reacts, Peter, because just because the gas prices are up doesn't mean that people are running to buy a Rivian truck, you know, but just the idea that, hey, if this becomes a thing, they can have more sales down the line, right? So it's just interesting how things play out here. But that's part of the news, obviously, not the entire thing. 16.40, another level here between the highs and lows of the pre-market. And then towards the bottom, highs and lows for the last two trading days got you pretty much covered when it comes to Rivian. Tesla's one of the ones that we'll be watching, of course. What a great run later in the day with the announcement of the war possibly ending soon by Trump. 404.40 is the high of the pre-market. Towards the bottom, highs and lows for the last two trading days. A level up here is going to be 408.55, and then right in here, nice big level at 411.16. So love that there. Last but not least, and as you got almost a minute to the market open, friends, is NVIDIA. NVIDIA low of the pre-market 181.51, and then towards the top here 184.19. Towards the bottom, highs and lows.
T-minus 1 minute.
Then there we go. Thank you, sir. And then above that 185.89, and right up here another level just in case 188.23. I hope we continue trading better, but man, the choppiness, you know, it's been pretty choppy for the last couple of days. So let's see what happens. All right, friends. 40 seconds
Value of the
here.
chat room. Brian in the chat room was mentioning ASTS, which just made a big drop back to previous day close. I'm not sure what prompted that, but I know it's one that Brian regularly watches, so it wasn't on my radar. But that's a pretty big move. That might be interesting to see what happens at the open. I'm running out of space to watch everything here, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Yep. Let's take a look. All right, we are ready.
PLTR has been one that, you know, it's been sort of in the center, of course. You know, we know it has lots of contracts with the Department of War. All right, there's the opening bell, though. So let's see where we go. I don't want to get too distracted here. Let's see what we got. I'm looking to see if we see any sign of strength. Joby's back at the VWAP right now. It's the one that I said I was watching for potential. It's looking weaker than I would hope. Tesla is pushing a little bit higher. And NVIDIA just went briefly green.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pushing up here. Wow.
Look at him go.
Oh, this 183. Oh,
Oh, HIMS is trading very nice this morning. That is
yeah,
beautiful.
it's really moving. Okay, guys. Well, look, my trade setup on Joby didn't pan out because it's dropped below the VWAP and it's holding down here, so it's not looking strong. So that's not going to be an active play the way I had drawn it up. We're now back to that consolidation area it had set pre-market between 8:45 and 9:15, not where I want it to be. So that's broke. So no open trade on that for me. That's
Yeah.
why I set these up, by the way, right? I just got, if it sort of acts the way I'm hoping, then there might be a trade opportunity. If it doesn't, then I know, I'm not on the right side of it, and I'm not just going to go chasing things with
Yep.
a hope and a prayer, right? The same like Nvidia, for example, right? I was watching Nvidia, and I said when it broke, it moved quickly through the previous day close all the way up to 183. But I took a quick look at the daily chart on Nvidia, and I said, well, this is an area that it sort of hesitated on multiple days, so I'm not going to chase it and go long here unless I see more signs of confirmation. I'm glad I didn't because it's right back at yesterday's close again. So we'll see where things go. I
Yep.
am a very cautious trader at the open, but that's
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
keeps me out of
Checking
trouble. Carlos, you
NVIDIA.
usually wait the first 5 minutes, right, to see where things shape up before you
Yeah. Yeah. I
dive
try to get
in.
a 1 minute, like engulfing breakdown or break up, but those don't happen very often, or at least I don't
Yeah.
catch them. Oh, I'm sure Nvidia on a mistake, but let's see if it works.
What?
Oh
What?
my
Uh-oh.
goodness. I am gonna take partials
On a
very quickly.
mistake.
Yes, it was a mistake. I swear to you it was. So I'm gonna get out very
Oh,
quick.
oh.
Oh my
We,
goodness.
we
I'm
were
gonna
just
get all
talking
out.
about it.
I'm just
You fat fingered it.
I did. So I put my
Fat
hand
fingered it. Hey,
down and
take the money, I guess.
I'm out. I'm out. It's not.
Okay.
um. So I put
Well,
my
but you
finger
could have
down.
held on. They might have, yeah.
No, I just took everything out, man. But yeah, I probably could have held on to this. I'm all out already. I'm all out. I fumbled. Yes, I fumbled. It's like I kind of
Wow.
yawned and my finger kind of flinched, and I had my hands in the hotkey, and I'm like, oh no! I look over and I was short. I'm like, okay, that's not good. All right.
Well, you like it when that works in your favor. I mean, that
I'm
doesn't
glad it
often.
doesn't often
Oh
work
man,
in my favor, but this
no,
time it did.
that's an Andrew type move where you make a
Yeah.
mistake like that and it
Yep.
pays
Yep.
off. I'm never that lucky, Carlos. Every time I make a mistake like that, it's an immediate loss.
Oh
Every time.
man, yeah, it never works for me.
Oh
I
wow.
saw that out so quickly because this
Well,
stuff never works.
you
Actually,
can't say never
turned out.
now.
Yeah, I can't say never. All right, let me keep my
It
fingers
rarely
safe
works.
here. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
funny.
But yeah, look at this. The reason I was
Just,
looking at this was to
uh,
actually go short on a 1 minute ORB, and again, we are getting a pullback here, but we'll see. Maybe we'll wait for something a little more solid, like a 5 minute ORB on this thing. So
I, I find it
yeah,
funny that we were just talking about, well, I was asking you sort of how you trade, and you're saying that you don't normally go short sort of right at the open, and then it's
right.
something
We
like, and
wait,
I'm
and
short.
then
I'm like,
and I'm
wait,
short.
Carlos, what? I wasn't a dare. I thought, oh my God, what have I
Oh,
done?
I tell you.
Uh,
Fumbled. All right, so let's see. I think it looks really nice, man. 5 minute ORB on this thing. That's a nice pullback there. I just hope it doesn't run here. Just wait a little bit. We need 30 more seconds. Allow us to build this 5 minute range and see if we can get some more out of Tesla. I'm sorry, out of NVIDIA. Trading very nice. Tesla. Anything you like, Peter, so far? You got a close eye on?
not really. I'm still keeping an eye on the markets here overall. Joby, like I said, failed my setup, so that just gives me an opportunity to just sit back and watch and see.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right, just looking through things here. Hims bouncing off the VWAP. Hims
Yeah.
potential 5 minute
Tim's did a
RB.
pullback
Mm-hmm.
right off the open. I don't I don't love it. Hey, it looks like it was probably a good thing that you got out of NVIDIA, so well done. But
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like you said, that's normally what we advise because you didn't have a setup, right? I mean, it wasn't
No, no.
intentional.
Yeah,
I mean, right away you're like,
yeah,
oh, whoops, whoopsie,
yeah, yeah,
made a boo boo.
yeah. As
So,
soon as I saw
wow.
that triangle appeared, I was like, okay. Um, all right, friends. Let's see. Nvidia's interesting. I like this wicks here. This selling pressure. I don't like the fact that we're pulling back so aggressive every time as we sell down. That's not good, right? Because if you take the breakdown, then your stop's got to be all the way up here, which I'm not a big fan of. But I like the selling pressure. Let's see if it does it again
Yeah.
here.
Oh, and I like there's downside pressure here on
Which one?
NVIDIA,
Yeah.
but I don't. It's back at previous day close.
The pullbacks are aggressive, man. That's the problem. Like,
I
see, it's
know they
back
really
over
are.
here.
That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Like, you will have to get in here with a stop like 182.90. And I don't like trading like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's find something else. We'll find something else. Here's Tesla. Looks a little bit cleaner. Might actually be a VWAP breakdown. What's the SPY doing? SPY's trying to go lower. This could be a good VWAP breakdown, but I think Tesla's just doing what the overall market is doing, which makes it tougher to trade, even as it's giving us a setup here. Yeah, and so Nvidia on Atlas, as Peter was mentioning, has downwards pressure. Like, it looks to have more pressure to the downside. Um, but again, these pullbacks keep coming right back up to the previous day close are not ideal. This is such a major level here that if it breaks through this, it can actually go and hit the high of the day. So it's a tough trade. So let's see.
I I am short Nvidia. If it goes back
I like
green,
that
I'm just
trade.
gonna get out of this. I
Yeah,
mean, I think it's gonna go. I just don't want to take a lot of risk on it. I'll take a small loss if it pops green again and then reevaluate. I'm hoping that it drops here, but it seems to be getting support. So there we
it's
go.
the
We
market,
just
man.
popped up. So
Yeah.
I got out. I got out of it with just with a small loss.
Look at the SPY, and it's just the SPY is
Yeah.
not helping here.
Yeah, there you go. And that was a good decision because look at that. Look at that
Yeah.
aggressive move higher that it
Yep.
just
Yep.
put in. Wow. Wow. Look at that move. Wow.
Yeah. It's
So,
pretty nice. Let's see if
uh,
it's gonna hold though. That's the problem we've been seeing, that things don't continue. They don't close and then continue. Been a big problem in the first couple of minutes of the market open. Tesla, on the other hand, I like it short here, guys. I'm gonna go short Tesla. Careful with the number of shares. So VWAP breakdown. My stop is 4475. Excuse me, 4375. So again, careful with the number of shares. I do give this stock a lot of room. You can easily give a Tesla like a $1.50, right? Just take less shares because it's just the way it moves. Let's see if we could break down. But the SPY needs to help though.
fine.
It's kind of doing its own
Sure.
thing, but I would like the SPY to actually drop with me too. Will definitely help the momentum. Yeah, Tesla is a balanced book, so there's no real imbalance. So I'm hoping that I'm not getting it against my setup, but I'm not getting it with me. Right, so it's kind of, you know, uh, kills itself here. So let's see if we can get the drop here. But SPY is going higher. Nvidia is going the other way too. Nvidia, look at that. Turned around pretty nice. Hit the high of the day. Let's see if Tesla's going to. It's taking too long here. And it's just if you look at the SPY, I got the SPY under the screen, so I'm looking at on the side. If you look at the SPY, Tesla's just reacting to what it's doing. So that's not good if the SPY goes up. Let's go. Let's get the low of the day, Tesla. 401.11. We'll take a partial there. SPY is going the other way. I might bail on this here. looking at what the SPY is doing. SPY is dropping, Tesla drops. Man.
Yeah.
Could still end up working, but it's just taking too long, I think.
I like the setup here though, Carlos. It's
Yeah, I like the pressure that's getting just every time it goes to VWAP, you see kind of like the sell pressure come in. I'm just not getting the drop.
Yeah, the level 2
Doesn't look great. Yeah.
There's not a lot of stuff going on the level 2. It's a little strange.
Yeah. I think in partly just because it's the SPY running things, man. All right, like I'm gonna get stopped out 4375. I am out, friends. SPY's not pushing up, but Tesla's somehow moving higher here. So stopped out long, and I might get back short.
Jumpy here.
I might get back short. I'm back short again, guys. I think Tesla's going to stop me out here, but I see the market pushing lower. Let me see if we can actually get a drop now. So back short, a better entry. Let's see if Tesla can fall in line here. So we're around 4.3. It's being difficult.
Like here. Yeah.
404, I'll stop out of it. Come on, baby. I know you want just to stop me out.
No,
but
the market's moving down.
I know. That's why I jumped back in. I'm like, okay, so market's moving down. Maybe this was just kind of a fake out, and my play is going to continue. But Tesla is playing hard to get here, man. Look at that. Big drop from the, not big drop, but reasonable drop from the market. And Tesla is not budging, which is interesting. So that's not good. Let's see. I'm looking for 401 would be awesome. All sins would be forgiven for the choppiness if we get 401. So let's see. I see people short PLTR. MU hit 410. Haven't looked at MU in a while.
MU 407.50.
Oh, they're asking. They're asking if MU will hit 410. Not sure. Not sure.
NVDA, wow. See, NVDA looks like it wants to drop here.
All right. Tesla.
It really does look short here, Carlos.
Yeah. We are just not selling. I'm impressed with Tesla and the way it's holding here.
I'm
happy about it.
A little short myself.
Okay, there we go, Peter. See, that's a little short, Peter. The stock immediately dropped after you got in.
I know.
Yeah. Peter jumped in with a boatload. Peter jumped in with a boatload of shares dropping the stock. I jumped in with a little short.
Back up. I don't have a good entry like yours, so I'm a little lower here. So
I actually took a partial. So partial right there, just above 402. And look at it come back up. So I'm glad I took that partial.
Look at the market.
Look at the
market charge right back up
man.
Here.
This is tough trading, guys. This is really tough trading. Let's see if Tesla can stay below this VWAP. And if it does not, we'll get out.
The market is just, what was that? It just like put on the afterburners and gunned higher.
Yep. And yeah, we're going to stop out of
Andrew's
Tesla.
going long Tesla, so that's not good.
And we are out of Tesla. Yeah, that's a good move to go long because of the market. Well, let's see. Let's see what this candle does here. But I agree. So I am out of Tesla, friends. We got a partial, and we are out now. Long here could end up well, but we got to see how the SPY does. I won't get back into it again. Sure, if it decides to go lower. I think it's trading very, very difficult. Hims as well. Like
Okay.
if you look at a
Okay.
lot of stuff, look at Hims. I thought about 5 minute RB there. That didn't work. Here's a 5 minute chart, so that failed. Tesla.
Hmm.
Tesla looks like it wants to take off here. We'll see. NVIDIA.
It
Our
does,
one,
unfortunately.
our tail NVIDIA.
I
This is
added into
nice.
my trade when it
uh,
popped up here, Carlos. I added
yep.
into my Tesla trade, but
Okay.
it's a little risky here. If it jumps up over 404, I'm gonna have to get out.
Yeah. Yep.
But it doesn't. You know, look at the market pushing back down here again. So
Yeah. Yep.
it's sort
Yep.
of weird. Oh, now the market's jumping higher. Yeah, that's not good.
It's
I
not.
don't know
See,
where
but
we're
look at
going.
the. I don't know, man. I don't know. It could go either way. Very, very tough
Yeah.
situation here. How's Rivian doing? Let's take the rest of the list. Oh, Rivian, beautiful. Look at the nice breakout on Rivian. Um,
Uh-oh, hitting that 404.
yeah, 406. It's back and forth. I think it's a long, Peter. That's a good VR breakout. I think it's a long.
Yeah.
I'm going to consider it. Not in yet. Let's see.
I I added actually a little bit more right at 404, and if it pops
Yeah,
higher again, I'm out. But
yeah.
it looks so tentative here.
Let's see.
I don't
Mo, you
know.
looking at PLTR, Mo? Let's see. Mo, good buddy Mo. PLTR above the V. Another one too that looks good above the VWAP. Let's see that there's the market ripping lower like that. PLTR at VWAP. Let's see. This thing can trade very well.
Nvidia is at high of
Mm,
day.
yeah,
That's not good support. Look. It does. Tesla now looks more like it wants to go long. So okay.
yeah, it does. It does. Let's see. But let's see. I mean, you're back in the money
All
now.
right. I'm taking some of my risk off here at VWAP.
Nice.
Since I got in and I added to this trade, you
Very
know,
nice.
and
Dude, I think you put the well, I'll tell you after you focus on this trade. Focus on this trade
yeah,
first.
we'll see where it goes here. I'm gonna move my stop to break even. I just don't want to take a lot of risk on this. I'm hoping that we get lower, back down to low of day. If not, I'm just gonna get out. My
Yeah,
break even,
yeah.
my break even now is just above VWAP, so any spike above VWAP, I'll get out.
Um, PTR at VWAP. I don't like how it's
But
dipping below the VWAP here, but it still can be a good long. Um, if it can get the signal, but risk to reward, it's not great because how wide these candles are. I don't know. I don't know. Well, let's see how it develops. It could be a VR rejection. Tight stop down to the low of the day.
there
That's
we
another
go.
one too.
Come on.
VR
There we go.
projection
Down
on
below 402.
this one.
Let's go. That's where I want to see it. There. Oh, one more drop on Tesla, and I can take another partial.
Nice, 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 nice. Let's see if
Come
it
on.
can break 402, 401,
You know, I'm
98.
just gonna take a little bit off here, just
Yeah,
so I put some money in the bank. I want below 402 for my next partial.
it's coming. Hold on.
Come on.
You can do
Why?
it. There it is.
There you go. There you go.
Ooh,
Partial.
nice,
Boom.
Peter.
Okay. All right. So
Let's
here we go.
go. Let's
I've
go.
got
Good
my
job, man.
trade
I wish I would
right
have
there.
got
You
back
can
in
see, and
that.
I added twice on this,
Yeah.
and let's see. I don't have a lot of faith it's going to make a big
But
move
look
for
at
me,
this.
but
This is the problem, right? Out of nowhere,
I
it
know,
hits 402, and look how back it
I know,
recovers right to the VWAP. So, with all in
yeah.
all, this is still in a very
Oh
tight
wow, look at
range. And
that!
look
Look
at
at
this
that!
now.
Look at that!
Yeah,
That just smashed
yes.
higher and took me right out. Wow, look, and I had wow, I had like almost a 30-cent slippage
Yeah.
on
Let's see your
that.
trade here.
30
Let's see your
cents.
trade. Yeah.
That's horrible. So,
Yeah. Yep.
wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a little too choppy. That's tough. So you can see I went in originally and then I added twice and I took partials. The first partial just below VWAP was just to mitigate risk, right? So I just took some of my size off when I was just barely green. And
Yeah.
then these were the only two profitable partials down here. And then, of course, it said I lost 30 cents on the remainder. So gave
Yeah.
back some of those meager profits. But I mean, I'm still in the red because of the NVIDIA trade, because I took a half-hour loss on that, the short I tried to do earlier. So, but that's okay. It's what trading is. We'll see where the big
Yeah.
opportunities come later today.
Yeah. See if Tesla can break this
Right.
404. We got this 404.50 here. This is the pre-market high. Pre-market high right here.
Again.
Pre-market high. Let's see if we can break there.
Yeah, maybe that's what happened. Andrew went and bought it all. I think he got out of Tesla.
No, he was out.
Oh, he
of it,
got
yeah.
back in.
Well,
See, he got
after.
back in on this pop. Yeah, right when it popped there. So when it stopped me out, that was Andrew buying in there. So it is his fault.
We need someone to blame. Oh man. Friends, if you haven't done so already, and I'm doing it myself right now as well, I'm going over to this little thumbs up button. I'm going to smack this thing here and make it 229. We would love for you to do the same. So we have almost 1,000 people watching. We'd love to get to 400. I think that's a good number. Help us get there. Really appreciate it. So hit that thumbs up. Help us keep this show here live on YouTube. And again, for those that might have missed it, we're going to be going live a little bit earlier tomorrow at 8 a.m. here on YouTube. We're going to do a couple of changes to make the show a little better and continue just to upgrade things and make things, hopefully more educational, more informational, and entertaining at the same time if we can. But yeah, we appreciate that. Appreciate your likes. Helps a lot. All right. So HIMS dropping below the VWAP and trying to set some. Oh, look at the SPY dropping now.
Wow, look
Tesla's
at Tesla.
still going. Tesla's still going.
Yeah.
Tesla's strong today. But the winner of the day, Peter, is Rivian. Rivian, what a trade, man. Look at the breakout here. Not an easy trade to take, but man, clean breakout this morning. And you can see it here going higher, up 10% now as the day goes. Joby, not a whole lot of action. I had coin on the secondary list, which might be setting up for just no volume. Like you have the pattern for a possible VWAP breakout, but there's really no volume at the moment on this thing. So, I ain't like that drop. What's the spread on this thing? Spread is not bad. 40, 50 cents at times.
Oh, and Andrew, of course, is long Tesla, where I got out of my short.
Yeah.
I should have maybe just jumped in with him when I heard that he was going long. But I did not.
Coin. I like the possible break on coin here, but it's not trading well. But I like the fact that we have all the support below it here in the 1 minute. We have previous day close. We have all this stuff down here. Potential VWAP breakout. I like that, but price action is a little funky.
Yeah. This is
All right. Did you guys like Andrew coming on there before the open? That was cool. I thought that was nice. You guys enjoy that? Seeing his take before he goes back to the chat room? Yes? No? Maybe so?
Yes, no, maybe
okay.
So.
Yeah, we'll do more of that. Cool. All right, yeah, we'll do more of that. And if we start at 8 a.m., we have more time to go over things and not rush. Because sometimes we find ourselves rushing, especially on busy days. There's a lot of news, a lot on the gappers list. We're rushing through things. So starting at 8 a.m. gives us a little bit more time. We'll have Andrew come in, and then we'll have other people too if we can. What you took, Peter?
I want to try and get better at trading these momentum plays. So I actually took a little bit of a short here on NVIDIA to get back to VWAP.
Okay.
You can see it on my screen. I I just took a partial at VWAP. I was
Uh-huh.
really just chasing the momentum, not a big strategy
Yep.
play here. You can see my entry's not
Yep.
that great, so if it comes back up to break even, I'll just let it stop me out. But if it breaks below VWAP, I'll be well positioned for a move to low of day. But again, with how choppy this has been, it seems like unlikely that I'll get such a clean move. Let's see what happens. I'm pretty close. We're only 10 cents away from my entry,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
that's
Premier View sounds like he's doing more options trades. Yeah, Andrew, he's always done options, but now he's doing them a lot more. I mean, it makes sense for the size of his
yeah,
account, to kind of do different things. It makes sense to get into some
exactly.
options because there's only so much shares you could buy, when you're trading equities directly, right? I mean, until you start actually hurting yourself and affecting the price, the wrong way or whatever. So, being able to do options is a good option. Pun intended. You're still
Yeah.
in NVIDIA, Peter, going below the
Options are a
VWAP
good
here.
option.
Yeah. Let's see if it can go
Yeah.
red for
Oh
you.
yeah.
This will be good.
Yep. That would be a point for a next partial if that happens. And then I think I'm just going to hang in there and look for maybe an opportunity to add. So we'll see what happens. But no partials till we go red.
Yep.
What's the previous day close here? Oh, we were so close. Previous day close 182.65. Yikes.
Um,
There we go. Okay, taking that partial just below, just as we crossed that
nice,
line. So that's
Peter.
good.
Nice, nice, nice. And look how strong Tesla is. Like Nvidia's selling down, SPY's selling down. Tesla's like, nope, we're going this way. And look how nice it's trading here, hitting
Look, and we got
406.59. Sweet, sweet.
so. And so this is a good way to look at a trade here, right? I said I knew I was taking a momentum trade, so I take partials on the momentum, right? Look where my partials are. VWAP, which is that blue line on my chart, and then
Yep,
right at the low of this candle, because the second it went below the previous day close, that's when I took some off. If I'm playing momentum, I'm playing momentum, right? I wasn't waiting for confirmation or anything. I just say that's a likely place for reversal, and I actually took
yep,
it while it was still dropping. So, and I'm pretty happy
yeah,
with that partial. So we'll see. I may
yeah,
transition this as time goes on. If this works well and it starts to show weakness, I may transition this in more in a trend play. But right now, I'm playing momentum.
yeah, yep.
Oh, oops,
Charlie, will
there
you
we
say
go.
he's trading large enough to be a market maker? No, not on the stock he trades. Right now, if you trade some stock that's barely getting any volume, oh, nice, Peter, here it is. Like if he's trading something that's trading like
Yeah,
20,000 shares, yeah, and you can any of you guys can move the price, right? But when you're trading Nvidia, Tesla, like the volume here is next level, right? You're not going to affect the price when we're trading. What is this? 300,000 shares per minute. That's a lot. It's a lot.
yeah, yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, you're even Andrew's volume is not moving on
Yeah,
Nvidia or a Tesla.
this is
It's
next
not. When
level
I said
stuff.
that, I
Yeah,
was just joking earlier when I said it was
yeah,
Andrew's
yeah,
fault. Because if you actually look at the timing, I had him up in the chat room here as I'm listening in, and he actually got in after I got out. So the pop happened, and then he played the momentum to the top side, right? Whereas that
yeah,
momentum is what caused me to get stopped out on Tesla. He just took advantage of that. So, it was not a
yeah.
cause and effect.
Agreed, agreed. Bat L doing nothing. I had that one on my list. Google quiet at the moment. American Airlines, come on, baby. I need you under $9 or near $9. Um, American
What
Airlines.
are American Airlines? That's
Yeah,
what is that?
I
What's it,
want it.
11 bucks right now?
Yeah, it pulled up a little bit. Went as low as 1050, which is a good spot, but
Yeah,
950 is like okay, there you could buy, and you have a likelihood of being right pretty quickly, right? So, uh,
right.
based on my very limited swing trading experience, so I know people have been string trading for years. I only been doing it for a couple,
Oh, that
But
was a terrible fill. What the hell? Oh, I
yeah,
added into my NVIDIA trade
yep.
and I got filled on the downside. I was trying to
Mm-hmm.
get in at 182.75, but I got filled like at least 10 cents, well, 15 cents lower than that. I guess
Mm.
it just started to move as I was hitting the button. So,
Yep, yep.
that's okay. As long as it drops, I guess, then it'll all work out for me.
Yeah, that's good.
Here we
Here it
go.
is. Let's see if it gets the low of the day. That'd be awesome, Peter. What's the low of the day?
Yeah, low
What do we have?
182.01.
182. Yep.
Yeah, so if we can drop below 182, then absolutely I'll be taking a partial
Mm-hmm.
on it.
SPY's making a new low, so that's helping you out.
Yeah.
PLTR dropping here as well. Yeah, so I mean, let's see how long this pop is going to survive, because as Trump was mentioning yesterday, hey, the war's not going to last long. Today is the day where we're hitting
Yeah,
Iran with the most missiles. Like they said, it was going to be the biggest attack happening today. So
yeah.
as we're saying it's going to end soon, we're also still attacking some more. So it's like, which one is it, right?
Every
So,
attack seems to be the biggest attack.
right, exactly. So,
So, okay.
um, we'll see. We'll see how things lay out here. Um, so we're down half a
I don't like
percent on the
how it's
SPY.
yeah, it's getting a lot of support here down at the
Yep.
182.30. I need it to break. I need it to break.
Yep. Yep. Um, they admitted we're low on stock. Rasi, do we really know that? I mean, do we really know that? Or is the U.S. really going to tell you, and I don't care what political party you're on, my party or your party, it doesn't matter. Are they going to tell you that they're low on stock? They're not going to tell you that. I don't think we'll ever know the exact truth of stuff like that, right? There's so much misinformation, not accurate
No,
information.
why
He
would
said,
you?
she said, you're never going to know that, for all we know, these guys have tons, but again, I just don't think there's some information you're never going to know the actual truth of, no matter who's saying it, whether it's left or right. You're just not going to know, you know. That's the thing, is what I think, But
Yeah.
but yeah, but everybody's an expert online.
Come on.
Everybody's a war expert. Everybody, has their 2 cents. It's incredible. I'm not saying you. I'm saying like other people, like in media.
Oh.
Everybody's an expert. So this is interesting to watch.
All right, so I took a partial on NVIDIA just because it was hesitating for too long here. I still want to get below 182. Andrew was on Tesla. I think he got stopped out of Tesla. I assume PLTR is dropping heavy here.
Yes.
I've been trading a lot this morning. I mean, I guess it's only 3 trades, but it feels like a lot. It's a lot for me.
Yeah. Oh.
I think our talk yesterday, Carlos, got me like thinking I got to trade more at the open. Maybe it'll be good
It's
for me.
working. You're trading and you're making money here, so it's working.
I mean, not much actually. It's largely break even at this point for me. I know. Should I look? Yeah, I'm in the green a little bit, but not by much. Because I had that initial loss
Yep.
on NVIDIA that I have to overcome, and then just a small win on Tesla, and now wow, look at that pop back on NVIDIA. That's not what I want to see.
Yep. Yep.
All right, I've got some room here. My stop is above VWAP.
Pulling
My
back
break
a
even is
bit.
above VWAP. So
Yep.
Andrew, oh no, Andrew's gone long NVIDIA on this pop, so that's not good for me. I'm hoping he's not right, but he usually is. Uh-oh.
He's
Uh-oh.
he's very good at
Uh-oh.
these things. The
I know.
Andrew indicator's
Yeah.
against you here. Yeah, the Andrew
Yeah,
indicator
it
is not in your
absolutely
favor.
is. It absolutely is.
Oh man. No, No, so to confirm, I am not in Tesla long. These are all short. Took short, stopped out, went back in, took a partial, and then got out when it came back up. So, small red on it, not too bad. We made some of it back here, but I did not go long on Tesla after that, right? So I didn't trade after that. So, then the only other trade, which was an error, my best trade of the morning, it was an NVIDIA short, and we just took everything out very aggressive because we didn't really have a strategy on this one, so we just got out quickly.
Ah,
I'm
all
glad
right.
I
I got
did.
taken out of my trade.
Yep, it's pushing higher here. SPY, nice
Unfortunately.
reversal on the SPY. Does the lifetime membership come with something? Yes, lifetime. It comes with lifetime. No, actually, no. But all jokes aside, they are running a promo right now. I think it comes with a funded account, for the lifetime membership, right? Uh, I got the banners. Yes, I haven't had a chance to put them on the show, but I will put them today, because we had a long meeting yesterday, and then I had the onboarding class after that. So today I'll put it on the show. But I believe they're giving a funded account for the lifetime membership. I'm searching as we speak and look for trades here. Let's see.
NVIDIA.
I don't see it. Did I just make that up? I think I just made that up. Um, I thought I saw that, but maybe not. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at a video above the VWAP here. This could be nice, actually. What is that drop about? Dun, dun.
Yeah, what is that drop about?
No, lifetime membership does. Oh, I'm glad I didn't go in. I was getting close to pulling the trigger there. No, lifetime members still exists. It is available.
Ugh. Ugh.
Mm, mm, mm. Oh, I'm glad I didn't go long, guys. I was very close because it was looking really good, actually. And the fact they got the previous day close below it, it was actually looking really nice. What happened? Market happened. Is that what it is? Let's take a look at
Yeah,
SPY.
the market just chop here is happening.
You know what? The SPY is
I
putting too much weight on stocks, that that will normally be trading very well. The SPY is just messing with them here. Oxy is moving a little bit higher.
well, I think
Yeah,
like
go
we
ahead,
say,
Peter.
this war, sorry, conflict, whatever you want to call it,
No, Peter,
this
you can say whatever you want. You can say
war
war, man. We're not. People know
war.
in our chat that we're
Anyways,
not left or right. We're very unbiased, and
yeah.
again,
But
so
anyways,
if we say a word
the
that is offensive to you, like this happens to me with no. Aside from the war stuff, it happens to me with culture, Peter. We got to be careful, right? Like some cultures, you say a word that might not be okay with that country. We don't mean to offend anybody. We have people all over the world. So if we say something, trust me, we don't mean to offend you. But yeah, go ahead. You're saying the situation, the
yeah.
war, conflict.
Well, it's just that I think it's overhanging the market. It's
Yeah,
causing a lot of like uncertainty and consternation. And I think that's why we're seeing this move, this back and forth chop here. And look at this.
yeah,
It's NVIDIA. Now, my ad unfortunately got me stopped out because if I hadn't added, then my break even would
yeah,
have been above where it had moved to. So that's unfortunate for me. But yeah, look at this. Oh well.
yeah.
Maybe I
True.
need to be a little more aggressive. Especially being that my stop was my new break even happened to have been just below 183, which wasn't a logical place. You don't put it right below a whole number. So, and I knew
Mm-hmm.
that, but I'm a little disappointed that if this goes down now through 182, I'll be frustrated. But let's hope it doesn't. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's funny when you Carlos, I saw this video the other day where they were talking about, we're acting like this naming of things, wars or not wars, is new. But when you go back officially in the records of the US,
Mm-hmm.
like you look at the war in Vietnam or the Korean War, or,
Yeah.
like there's a whole bunch of them where you're like, technically, those actually weren't called wars. I mean, it's hard to argue that they weren't war, but they were all like officially this was a military conflict, or it was an armed insurgency, or it was, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. They had all these different terminologies for it. So,
Yeah.
what's happening? The name games that they're playing, nothing new there. That's politics.
Yeah. Yeah. I agreed. Uh, I don't know what to take here, guys. Like this stuff is just like Tesla's back below the VWAP, but do I expect it to go lower than 402? Not really. So why would I get in
Yeah.
here, right? The risk reward is just not ideal. We've been here twice already, and both times it shot back up. So though we got like the VWAP breakout, the chances of it going lower than this for me personally on the technicals are not high, unless our good buddy Spy says we're going lower and lower. Then that changes everything, right?
Right.
But
Yep.
I wouldn't take this short here. Let's just look at Tesla chart. I would not take this short for those reasons, me personally, right? Um, so
Wow. And look at Nvidia. Look at this just range move now. That's wow. That's not the best.
yeah, yeah,
Not the best. Okay. Well, maybe it's a good thing that I'm out.
let's see here.
Joby, I wish I'd gotten on PLTR. Joby dropped. Uh, Hood dropped. PLTR, obviously. Damn, PLTR is a weird one, Carlos. You look at that
Yeah,
PLTR
yeah,
chart, because look at that big aggressive spike up above the VWAP, and then how it came right back down and then proceeded to sell off. Like that would have been
mm-hmm.
really hard to figure out what to do with that. Right around just after 9:45, a little spike above VWAP there. That's
Yeah,
just weird.
yeah. And actually, we were watching it for this to see if it will come back up and do a VR breakout, and it failed. Um, I still think the risk reward would not have been great on it, but yeah, we were watching it when this was happening, and it's
No.
just yeah, false VR breakout and right back down it goes. Um, and Oxy came alive a little bit here in the last couple of minutes since 10 o'clock. They start to see some movement. All market open just sideways. So a little bit higher today. And again, just a lot of chop, guys. A lot of chop. This is why you gotta take what you get, right? Some of these moves, you're not gonna get the big moves that we're used to. This why I was very aggressive with this Nvidia trade. I took a quick partial on Tesla here as soon as it got to 1R, because with this market, you just got to take what you can get. Peter, you got a great move on a scalp that turned out to be actually better than what you thought it was going to be. So that was good on Nvidia.
Yeah.
And yeah. All right. Anything else, friends? Anything you're watching that maybe we haven't looked at yet?
NVIDIA.
INKT, was this active yesterday? I might have saw this earlier. Yeah, this was up like 60%, right? Yeah, this is the one that was up pretty big this morning. But again, not really tradable. Be careful. I'm assuming it's a low flow stock. So careful on that one. INKT. Around this, I will go back and I'll go and check Amazon and Apple. Yeah, look at Amazon trying to make a new low here, or trying to go for the low of the day. And then Apple, we are just sideways right now. So a lot of sideways action. Oxy going in towards the new high of the day, pushing higher there. We'll see how things shake out here. All right. In a few minutes, guys, we'll be doing a funded account. If you want to join the Lambos and Garbage Truck family over on YouTube, you can do so. Just click on join at the YouTube channel, and you'll become part of the team. You get access to educational videos plus access to our daily draw here for a funded account. Which, let's see how people are doing, right? Because we could watch them live now. This is exciting. I put the pressure on. Yeah, this is kind of this is pressure, man. It's a lot of pressure to be here now and be live. All right, Deepa's doing very well. She's got to be him or she got to be careful, because they had a drop yesterday, right? So hopefully they're not listening. So I don't want to put pressure on them. But they had a drop here, right? Gotta hold this. Gotta hold the line here, my friend.
Gotta
Hold the line. You're up $21,000. Don't take the loss. Take it slow. Take it easy. And usually this is a drop of 6,000 or so. That is called not accepting the loss, right? We're gonna learn from people here. So if you're on this list, if you're listening, not picking on you, we're just learning. We're learning from what other people do. And again, we've been here. Got to be careful with these type of losses, right? This kills your buying power. It kills your ability to be back in the game. So careful, recover nice and slow, but you got to accept those losses quickly, right? But yeah, they're doing very well. I'm not taking away from what they're doing. They had so far, what is this? Maybe 200 plus trades here. Even with a 41% win rate, their average is very nice. So yeah, this can work. This can work. So good job. We got some other ones on there. As I mentioned, you can go to Bear Traders, and you can look at the funded page here and see how people are doing so far. $302,000 of profit from traders. That is pretty nice. So, let me see what else we got here. Yeah, so pretty good. Not yet, guys. Not yet. We're gonna do the funded a little bit later, but not yet right now. Speaking of pressure, man, there's a big push for Formula One lately. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but big push for like Formula One. Yeah, especially here in the U.S., like getting people to watch Formula One racing. And I was watching. Have you seen the Drive to Succeed on Apple? Drive to Survive on Netflix.
A couple of this. My wife and I watched one season of it, and yeah, it was actually really good. It was
really
well done.
good. Yes, really good.
We didn't watch the back. I think we watched the last season because we said, well, let's not go too far back because it's like the recent past, right? But yeah, it's really well put together, I think. I mean, it only gives you a one-sided picture of what happens in Formula One, and it's not the whole story. But still, it's a story.
It's fun.
I
was impressed with how young these kids are, man. One of them didn't even have their license, and they were already training, and they got their license that year, and they're like 18. Like, you're a kid, like, and you're over here driving at 300 kilometers per hour. It's just crazy. So the guy didn't even have his driver's license. He's already driving Formula One. Jeez.
Formula One favors the youth because you got to have fast reflexes. You got to be able to survive big G forces. You got to be light, right?
Yeah.
So all that stuff, right? Like, I mean,
all that plays a part.
Yeah. So.
But yeah.
Wow. Okay. NVIDIA is maybe finally getting the pop higher, of course. Andrew's in there, and I was tempted to join NVIDIA for this long. I didn't want to go chasing things, but it's it would have been my first long trade of the day. Perhaps I should have. I am just watching though.
Yeah. All right, friends, let's see what we got here. All right, NVIDIA. Wow, NVIDIA taking off nicely. NVIDIA's doing some stuff. Axie at the moment continues higher. I'm not seeing anything that I love right now that I can trade. So just scanning through some of the stuff here. All right, Tesla back in the VIA, but Tesla's been a tough trader. Like if you look at Tesla here, you know, this range right here, 404, clearly a problem for Tesla today. And it's coming right back to it again here. And again, we have broken out from that, hit as high as 406, came back down, and just again continuing to just struggle in this area. So let's see, is it going to be resistance? Is it going to be a breakout that we can actually play out here as a VI breakout? We'll see. We'll see what it does here. How do you get to the leaderboard? So very easy. Cool Deep, is this you from the is that you there on the funded account? Man, we're rooting for you. We are rooting for you. All right, let's see here.
Just go to the Bearable Traders website, and you can click on funded, and it'll show it to you, right?
Yeah. So we'll come over here, Bearable Traders, and at the top in the banner where you join, we got the funded page. So if you click on here, and then scroll down, the page got updated with a couple of new features. But yeah, Cool Deep, we see you here. I think this is you. Keep it up. Keep it up. You know, stay focused. Continue there, and you can filter by a couple of things: last 30 days and current traders, people that are in the sim right now, in the funded account right now, so you can see who's doing what and so forth. So there it is. There it is. Top traders.
Andrew taking a partial on his NVIDIA trade, so that worked out well for him. Ugh, just watching him. I wish I was along for the ride. Boo.
All right, there we go. There we go. Tesla rejecting. So again, can get above that level we've been talking about. VRAP is right on there as well. NVIDIA, on the other hand, nice breakout. That is really, really nice. Not an easy week, Peter. I mean, I was green yesterday. I'm green today's, but small. Like I'm not getting the big chunks. You know, the stuff we like.
NVIDIA.
We're just getting little drizzles. Little drizzles.
I should have been in this trade. I should.
Yeah.
Should have been in this trade.
This is a nice one. This is a nice one.
I saw it. I didn't take it. I gotta write this down. This is a missed trade for me.
It is. Andrew's in heavy, my friends. Heavy on NVIDIA. And he's waiting for a partial over. Guess where? At 184. Why? Because that is where Atlas has 184. 79,000 shares sitting up there. So, and nothing down here. It's just clean. Like there's nothing going on. So you should get some regular pullbacks, but there's no reason why we should not hit that 184 unless the market does something erratic. But Andrew should get his partial up there at 184. So guys, if you want to see Andrew trade live, you can do so. Head over to Bearable Traders. So you can see Andrew and Brian trading live here in chat. So there it is. Nice breakout above VWAP. And let's see if he gets filled. Let's keep watching here. Yeah.
Tesla's tough. Tesla's so tough today.
No, Tesla's not. It's almost not tradable. Almost, right? If you're a range trader, you could do very well. Us breakout traders are struggling with that. Explain the fund. How much cost is the funded account? So the funded account is $299, right? So let's back up, right? You got to have a trading terminal membership, which is $99 a month, right? That gives you all your tools, your simulator, Atlas, all the tools you need. And you could just have that membership and be perfectly fine with the tools that are there. If you want to do the funded account, you can purchase it. Andrew's about to get filled here. You can purchase it for $2.99, and you get the funded account for 3 months, right? And that's when you start trading the funded account with the tools you already have from Trading Terminal. Like it's the same simulator that you're already paying for. We just add the funded account to it, so you can start actually trading on the funded account. Please make sure that you practice in the simulator without the funded account, so you can get an idea on how to enter and place orders. Because I made mistakes on the funded account that cost me too. Like I hit the wrong button. There it is, filled on Andrew. Beautiful stuff.
Oh, that's
Beautiful
upsetting to me.
stuff.
That's upsetting to me. Just sitting watching when I could have been there. Could have been there.
You can see 184. Look at the big, massive bubble. This is Market Atlas, by the way, which again, so nice. Big, massive bubble at 184, and now everything readjusts. And let's see if at 184.20, it's gonna pile up here, right? So you can see how you got a little more in the bottom now, right? You got a little bit more, but still, the top is more aggressive here. So let's see how it plays out. But man, great partial for Andrew there on NVIDIA. Beautiful trade. Why
didn't I take that trade, Carlos? I
don't know, man.
skipping the ones that work.
Yeah. And here is the SPY. It's just might go green, guys. We recover. Look at the recovery on the SPY. Like it's been choppy, but now it's just this is clean trading from here on out.
The Qs are green right now, so
that's clean trading.
Pushed into green territory.
What are my settings for Atlas? I don't have them up. This is Andrew's Atlas, which I gotta get because this looks very nice. It looks much nicer than mine. So I'm not gonna give you my settings because my settings are probably not the best. I could show you here. I think Andrew has really good settings. So I gotta have him email me his settings. Cause see how clean his looks? Looks very clean.
Well, it's a difference. He only aggregates for 2 levels, so he's zoomed in pretty much. I'm aggregating for 5 levels. If I aggregate for 2 levels, see, I don't like that as much. I don't know what his other settings are.
Yep. All right, let's see NVIDIA. Rock and roll here. Let's see. It's gonna break at 184.19 is our pre-market high. So we're right to it now. Let's see if it can actually break from that. The trades that feel the worst are generally the best. Yeah, if you feel uncomfortable in the trade, if it works out, generally that's gonna be a good trade because you probably put a lot on, right? What makes you feel uncomfortable is when there's a heavy size in the mix, right? And usually when those work out, they turn out the best. Absolutely.
Oh, I'm a little frustrated with this missing NVIDIA on this. That's my own fault. Coles got the bounce off of VWAP and previous day close, and then went for a little bit of a run here. So good move on it.
All right. Tesla actually broke this 401 area we were kind of hanging on to for a little bit. Right, with support for quite a bit. Now finally breaking down and setting a new low for the day. New low for the day at 488 cents right now. So that's Tesla's new low. NVIDIA, Oxy battling up there. PLTR, Rivian. Yeah, pretty good stuff. To see them live, you got to go to bearwithtraders.com. So Trading Terminal. So we got 3 locations, right? We got 3 locations. We have Bear with Traders, right? This is usually for all our educational stuff. All our material for education is there, plus live trading and the live webinars. That's BBT, right? Focus on education for new traders to get started, all that good stuff. Trading Terminal is trading tools, right? Some people don't need education, right? They just need the tools, right? They already know how to trade. They just want the tools. They want the market atlas. So some people just get Trading Terminal. They don't need Bear with Traders, right? New traders, I recommend variable traders, because you're going to start and learn everything there. So that's trading terminal, right? It's kind of like your tools for trading. And then P Capital is for traders that have a little bit of experience but still haven't found a good trade book and edge. The boot camp is perfect for those traders to help them build a solid trade book, right? So and boot camp, we're running some promotions as well. So make sure you head over there for boot camp if you're interested in it. There's a lot of promotions happening there before we start our next bootcamp session in the spring. The spring session is coming up. So I hear the birds making some noise out there. It's gonna be hot today, man. 70. The spring is coming in with a bang. Let's ease into it. I like my 65, 55 degree weather. Let's not go straight to summer weather. Let's take it easy. All right, NVIDIA continues to crush as Peter continues to get crushed by
As
NVIDIA.
Peter just his spirit plummets, sitting watching NVIDIA hit a high when I'm not along for the ride. No reason not to be.
Yeah.
Oh
well. Thoughts on MU? MU is moving along with the semis, right? We've been focusing more on NVIDIA, but I gotta tell you, MU's chart looks much cleaner. It's easy to say that now, but as we're going through this stretch here, this would have been tough to do anything with, right? So very good start, and then just nothing for more calm for like an hour or so, not an hour, like half hour. And then NVIDIA during that time has been just all over the place. NVIDIA has been all over the place, but now falling in line of heading northeast. AMD is just going to some of our semis here. A little bit of action at the start, and then it's just pretty quiet right now compared to like MU and AMD. They're both rocking pretty nice this morning. So, but as far as MU,
has made it green, Carlos.
Yeah, man, it's an incredible reversal there on the SPY. As far as MU is moving higher, and I'm sure the SPYs and the Qs are helping with that. So, not much thoughts on it besides it's just, we're seeing some green right now on the screen. Look at the SPY pushing green. And I'm not in anything, and I don't see anything that I can join this party with. Yeah, everything is gone. Just looking at all our trades. Joby, I don't trust Joby for a VWAP breakout. This stock doesn't trade that well. So no, I won't be taking that coin. There was so many VWAP breakout failures today. Look at coin, failed, right? Broke out nicely, pulled back, never give us our confirmation. HIMS, no, not HIMS. Was it PLTR? Same thing. Nice breakout, pullback, never give us our confirmation. So many of these never really got going. Joby, if you're watching this one, I probably would have not traded Joby. Same thing. Couldn't get the breakout. So that has prevented us from joining more trades than we normally would around this time or earlier. NVIDIA failed the breakout here. I almost got in this one, guys. I called. I was getting ready to hit that button, but failed. Came back, and this was a little bit messier for actual VWAP breakout, but it worked out great. It really did, and it's hitting a new high, 184.50. Who is in NVIDIA, friends? For Peter. Yeah. Who's in NVIDIA long for Peter?
For Peter. I agree.
Make him feel better. Make him feel better that you're making money. I'm not sure that's gonna make him feel better, but we'll run with it. We'll run with it. Oh boy. Let's see. Allison took it, very nice. Hollowas took it as well. Joshi. He is in. He took AMD, JPM. All right. Kind of in NVIDIA in the triple leverage semi long. Oh, stock. So yeah, well, yeah, because the semis, both the semis that I see here are moving higher. So yeah, traded the whole sector.
Silly. That's silly.
In NVIDIA, just hoping to make it a smaller red day. Won't be green. Okay. Recover some of the losses. That's good too. That's good too. And don't let. I'm glad you mentioned that, Mark. Don't let a good trade. Don't take away from a good trade. I'm not saying you're doing this, but important for everybody. Don't take away from a good trade because your day's not green, right? You could have had the best trade in Nvidia. Let that trade stand on its own. You did a great job. You took the trade like you're supposed to. Just because you're red is not that trade's fault, right? So just give yourself kudos for taking a good trade. Doesn't matter whether you were red on that day. That's just a byproduct of your overall trading for today, right? But if you had a great trade, don't downplay it, right? Just because the day is not going to be green, even though that trade was awesome. So give yourself props for that. Nvidia 182. Oh man, what you took this like at the pre-market? Nvidia from 182. Yeah, this had to be pre-market because we haven't hit 182 at the market open, or unless you took it right here at the bottom. That is also very nice. Chris MC is partialing. I try to I trade like complete crap today, but I am green. Sometimes that happens. Hey,
sometimes
my
you
best
can trade terrible and it still
yeah,
works.
my best trade today on Nvidia as far as profits. Nvidia on a mistake, right? So yeah, I get it. I can relate. I can relate today and many other days in the past. So yes, indeed.
Silly.
Mm. Uh, American Airlines is not gonna drop anymore. This might be it for it. If things are gonna start easing up, this might be lowest it gets. Peter, so you have changed your mind? You're seeing how things might be easing up. Are you traveling to Egypt?
Oh yeah, my plan is still to go. I've
Okay.
never, I mean, I'm tentative about it, but my plan had always been to go. I just want to make sure, like I mean, nobody wants to die in a missile strike. I don't want to die in some
True. True.
crazy event. I just want to make sure that that's, a low likelihood that
Yeah.
that I'll have to face that. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And not so much so drastic, but also like getting stuck, not being able to get home. That sucks too. Like if
right.
if travel changes and it's very difficult to get out, that's part of the process too. It's like not cool. Um, so Peter, I saw you put you put the wrong picture. I think you put the garbage truck in the back. Did you mean
No,
to do that
I
one?
put that up there on purpose. Yeah.
There it
Yeah.
is.
I want to,
Oh, that's funny. Got the garbage truck back there.
yeah, absolutely.
Look at that. Don't get hit by the garbage truck, Peter. That's pretty much what our
No,
market is trading
it's
like.
down on the floor. I'm up on the balcony here, so I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good. Don't worry about it. Just don't drive it
No,
into a pillar or something, and
that's
then
gonna think the same
and
thing. Then
then
everybody's going down. All right. Um. I don't see anything else. Let's do this, friends. Let's do a funded account giveaway. Um. Let's do that. Let me set it up first. Hold on a second. Hold on. You know what? I shouldn't announce it until I have it set up. That's bad
yeah,
management on my
yeah.
part.
Don't announce it till you.
Yeah, that's bad management on my part. Because the minute I say that, the hashtag starts coming in. Here it is. And it is right. You guys are laughing because you know it's true. It is on. There it is. All right. Hashtag funded account for our Lambos and garbage truck traders. We'll give you guys a free funded account. It does require a train terminal membership, so you do have to have a train terminal membership. And then you go to checkout, you add the funded account, put the code that I'm going to give you, and you will be all good to go. So let's see who wins today. Entries are coming in. Very nice. 70, 80. Nice. Good. It's working. It's working.
All right. Well, NVIDIA. What a move higher on NVIDIA. I'm very upset
Mhm.
that I'm just watching it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
NVDA. Wow, yeah, my 184.92 now on this bad boy, and it is rocking, friends. It really is.
yeah.
All right, here is our giveaway, friends. So let's see 110 entries. And again, guys, you can go to Bearwood Traders. What's my webpage? Bearwood Traders. You click on the funded account, and you can see what is happening. So right over here, you can take a look at how our friends are doing. So keep it tight, keep it green. Our current top traders live now that are trading. So here it is. All right, let's see what we got. Let's go to our funded page, and all right, let's do it. 124 entries. Our winner. So our winner for today is in 3, 2, 1. Let's see who's gonna take it. Goes to McBen Gemma. McBen Gemma, you are the winner. Congratulations. Email me, carlos@bearwoodtraders.com. We'll get you all set up, my friend. Welcome. Well, not welcome. You've been welcome, but congrats. Congrats.
Congrats.
Yeah. All right. Beautiful. 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 All right. All right. Hims losing some ground this morning. NVIDIA higher. Tesla continues side. Did drop a little, but still sideways on that 402 level. Oxy, nothing. PLTR, nothing. Rivian came down to some moving averages and now heading back up. Trying to, at least. Doesn't move a whole lot though. You need to weigh a lot to get like 20 cents out of this thing. It takes a very long time. So yeah, bright light for kids. He won already. He's not allowed to. No, we have had I think we have had 2 people that won twice. But for all the ones we've given out, it's very minimal. Very minimal. So the algos are doing their job of picking random people correctly. It's working.
Yep.
It is working. No, I know you only won once, bright light for kids. I'm just saying that we had one person or 2 that won twice. It's a little harder now. It's a lot more people in the doing the funded account. But at the beginning, it was just very few Lambos and garbage truck members. So it was very easy to hit twice. It's a little more difficult. And some of you guys, when I email you, you are telling me that you're finishing up a funded account. You're in a funded account already. So some of you guys are already in the funded account, which is nice. So you get one more chance, to go at it. So, but don't let that get you loose on your trading, because you got an extra lifeline. Don't focus,
don't get
man.
Reckless.
Focus. Concentration. Don't get reckless. If I'm a BBT member, will I still be able to trade on Interactive Brokers account, or I have to switch to trading terminal? Please reply. So if you're trading live, well, neither have to do with whether you're a BBT member or not, right?
Right.
So that doesn't have to do anything. If you're trading live and you want Interactive Brokers as your account with Dash Trader Pro, that's a whole separate thing, right?
Everybody, we are coming. The gang got trouble.
Good morning, Andrew. Hold on, let me get it in chat.
Good. I have a big order at 185 getting filled. Atlas, boom, boom, done. That was amazing. So it was good to see that the Atlas showed this big order at 185. So we did a really nice move on NVDA. So I'm going to show you to that. That's a great profit that we had with Brian on NVDA. So how are you doing, guys?
Great.
Good.
Doing good.
Putting it in the
I'm disappointed that I wasn't with you for this move up. I was trading NVIDIA all morning and then I missed the move up. I saw it and chickened out. So, but here I am. I just went short right at 185 because usually you get a little bit of a pullback. We'll see if it's a short-term pullback. Stop now at break even. So we'll just take some money off the drop here.
All right, so that's great. Yeah, we had a really nice. So as you see, guys, in my chart on NVDA, and you see my open positions, I have still 1,500 shares of NVDA, and Brian and I actually sold, NVDA 175 puts, as I mentioned. So I covered some of it more because NVIDIA was really doing a very nice consolidation. And then as we bounce back to 175, so we, those puts, the value of the puts here, I'm going to actually bring the puts here. So as the NVIDIA goes up, the value of the puts are going down. So yesterday we sold it, and as you see here, so I think we sold it at around $2.30, and it just keeps going down. So we're short. So when you're short, you just continue getting profit when the puts are going down. So now they're trading. So I covered some here and I covered some here. So the values of the puts are really going down. But NVIDIA overall, it was amazing at the open. What we tried to trade it at the open. So sold off, came above the VWAP. I kind of missed chasing it. I went long, but the orders and levels were really strong. So I got to stop out and then came back up. I went long again. Scalped it some towards 184, got out. And then one last time, I actually did one more time long that got out. And then the last time that is working actually here with really one nice add on it that it just keeps going up right now. So if I want to look at it, it's essentially 4 trades. So that's 1 trade, 2 trades, 3 trades, and this is the 4th trade that is going with a really nice add in between and just doing great. It was really bullish. The book was really bullish. So if you look at the market atlas, is right now we are, if we go to the 2 level here, so what do we have here? On NVIDIA, 186 probably is, big orders are stacking up at 185.50 and 186. Yeah, so 186 is a very big order. So if I want to show it to you, Market Atlas is a tool that I think everybody should have that. So, the orders are really going very clear toward 186 and there's really nothing down here. So since there's so clear orders to the downside and very big orders to the upside, it's very bullish pattern.
Agreed.
Yeah, I was trading at the open for you guys. Oh, look at the NVDA.
Yeah, it was a little rocky. We both struggled with our trades, but managed them well, so that's good. Tried
Nice.
shorts on Tesla and NVIDIA, and got some that worked, but not very well. And then yeah, this pull up, Andrew. Of course, you're in the right position. Great trade.
So my question is to you guys: did you tell that we're gonna start the pre-market show tomorrow at 8 a.m.?
You bet we did.
Yeah,
We
so we
did.
want to
Yeah.
start at 8 a.m. because I come a little bit earlier as well. So help you guys with the show. And Jared starts the engineering the market at 8:30 in the morning. And I hope that I can actually jump into the YouTube as well during the live trading sometimes. So we try to set up with Carlos and Peter a little bit to be able to do a better, switching back and forth. And that's super exciting to see if you can actually improve the pre-market show and give you some more actionable ideas for trading. Like for example, NVIDIA was in my radar in pre-market. So as you see, we got really nice trade on that. And I think it's going to go to 186. I'm already holding to 1,000 share with 186. So Peter, how's Nasdaq? I love the background. I have to learn how to actually put that background. I really love to put that background.
Yeah, just do it with your just click on the little down arrow by the video when you log in here. It's really just a function of the Zoom.
Nasdaq. I
that.
thought I
Yeah.
saw
So
garbage
whatever
trucks.
picture you want. Yep.
I thought,
Got
yeah,
the
I thought I saw
truck going.
garbage trucks in the background there, Peter.
Well, that's it. Because Carlos, he parked his garbage truck right in the middle of the Nasdaq floor. See?
Oh yeah, there you go.
There he is. That's Carlos. There he is. So.
Nice.
How did you put the garbage truck in Nasdaq? It was awesome.
Yeah,
It
I
was
have my own
amazing.
garbage
Yeah, it
truck.
was-
That's where Carlos parked it. So.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Amazing.
today the garbage was PLTR. I think PLTR was the garbage of
Yeah.
Nasdaq today. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Was,
PLTR bit that trade bit me at the open. It was looking so positive going into the market open. It was really last 10 minutes before the open, it just kept getting buyers. But there was a little pop, and then it fell out of bed there.
Yeah. Guys, remember that the boot camp slowly is going to an end. This is the last month of the boot camp. So the next boot camp starts with live trading with all of our amazing traders. We have one new package that if you buy a lifetime membership, you get also one boot camp and one funded account. For the people who really want to make it a career for themselves, that would be the best investment that you can have. So boot camp comes with a lifetime membership at Bearable Traders and a funded account for you to make money. And then we discussed earlier this morning that this funded account is getting really popular, especially in Tanzania. There's a trading floor that traders are really trading together and make money. And I love that. In the page that we have for the funded account, you can actually see, I think as of yesterday, we had $307,000 payout for the traders, as low as $50 all the way up to $10,000.
Nice.
You can see if you go to the Bearable Traders website. So let me bring it here. So if you go to the Bearable Traders website, there's this button on the side. Of course, go full screen. Yeah. So the funded, you can actually go in there, and then you can actually see the current traders as well. Who's top? Oh, Kyle, you're here. Kyle is up now. Is $11,000. You can actually see the trades that they have. So you can click on their account. You can actually see their trades as well, and you can actually search based on the profit that they have and the pay date that they have. So we started, the first payment went out on December, I think 10th. Sorry, December 10th was the first payment that went for $2,000, and yeah, as low as $51 that Joe got at February 27th. So you can actually go and follow the track. So it's automatic that you can see. And you can, again, if you click on it, see what Kyle is up to. That's the trade that Kyle has. All right, Kyle. This is a trader. Nice, Kyle. Look at this great trader. This is Kyle. He's in the chat room right now. As you see, really amazing move up. Well done, brother. Nice. Largest 4,000, largest 3,000. Look at the accuracy. 75%. That's great. Kyle, are you in the chat room? Nice. There you go. Kyle in the chat room. Yeah, well done. Yeah, Kyle, you already got one $10,000. Yes? I think you got already one. Yeah, so it's the second. Well done. So
nice. You wanted to do it twice.
Yeah, no, I mean, did it twice, 3 times. Let's see. Look, I like you to get a few times on it, because again, it's not about I think everybody knows how to trade, but not a lot of people know how to keep the money. So I don't want to limit it for now. I want Kyle to win a couple of times, and because I want him to make sure that he knows how to trade, and it wasn't just pure 3 months luck. So that's very important. So Nina, if you're a basic member, so funded account is through Trading Terminal. We also have it, more expensive version through DAS. So the information is here. So I think it's a very, very good test of your, skill if you want to go. I just post the link here as well. If you come into the chat room. You can also, talk to people who have done it, like Kyle, I think, has done it. And the result is public through Variable Traders. So you can actually see that. Go to the Variable Traders website on the top, the funded, you can actually see that. So you don't really need to be a member to see these results. Obviously, we are not really sharing. We don't share any public information in there, but it's really just the trades that you see. It's doing pretty awesome.
And NVIDIA continues to push higher.
NVIDIA, yeah.
The markets are the cues on
Yeah.
the SPY just keep moving up here. The SPY is at pre-market high right now. Pretty much same with the cues.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, NVIDIA is doing up really nicely, beautiful. I told you 186. I want NVIDIA at 186. So the Atlas at 186 is really getting ready. So I really want to get to 186.
That 175 level on NVIDIA looked so solid, for that put sale. That was just a really obvious trade.
Yeah,
Very
IWM.
happy with that one.
I told you, Jared, to come. Let's go all in on TNA. Jared said no.
Jared, what are you saying no to you? It's not.
Let's take a look at IWM.
Right.
Yeah, wow, what a amazing bounce back here on the SPY and the Qs.
Lovely. Beautiful.
Yep. Hard to keep this market down.
Yeah, that situation is great.
Concern I have with IWM is it's right back into an area where it's a prior support and resistance.
Excellent trading day, Brian. So my partials, the question is that my partial percentage is only 10%. Any question, guys?
Other nice swing trade I did was with ServiceNow, NOW. Hit at a really nice double bottom on the daily chart. This is where these patterns set up with no matter what sort of time frame you're looking at. So ServiceNow was a nice trade. Got out of that rest of that trade at 124-ish. Now I'm gonna maybe look at re-entering it again on this pullback.
Right. So it's 11 a.m. I'm going to hand it over to Thor from Florida. Peter from Nasdaq, thank you so much. And yeah, that's great. I have to learn how to actually put that background. I have to play around with it and figure out how to do it. Yeah, that was great trading day, guys, and all the best. See you tomorrow morning in the chat. Really good
Smart, everybody.
All right. See you guys.
I'm sorry, that's not a background. Peter's actually at the NYSE right now.
That's right. Carlos is in the truck. There you go.
I've been trying to get a desk there, and they just won't give me one. But for some reason, they gave it to Peter. And I'm not saying I'm bitter, but I'm not saying I'm not. So, whatever. Oh, what's going on, Bearable Traders? How's everybody doing out there? How's everyone's day going? My day is pretty good. I got a trade in today on ES. I actually took it short off the CP for a little bit of the sell, and then I cut it when it came back through and made some okay money, not bad money, great money. And then just after that, everything started rallying. So I just didn't have really anything else I wanted to do. So I'm still watching for another trade opportunity. I'm watching ES right now as it gets higher and higher to see if maybe I get a sell opportunity. But right now we are in trend. We are buying, and we are above the 20. So right now we are rocking and rolling. You're struggling. My screen should be up, but it is not showing there. So let me try and share it again. And see if it works this time. I did not take the PLTR call because I was working doing a little work. But it was a lovely call. So we had a sell. We lost the S4 for a lower narrow range. So this is a breakdown. So it really fits that. We're kind of caught up now in the 20. So I don't know how much more downside we have on this one, but it was a nice play. So why is everything spiking? So a lot of the things are spiking on news, new user. So there's a couple things. One, crude is selling. Number two, we're very, very low in the monthly range, so it's a good location to buy. Number three, there has been some economic reports that things may be de-escalating soon. So yeah, there's a lot of things that actually are kind of causing this spike. Let me talk about it. So the EMA that I like to really use, and this is my kind of like for trending basically, because I stink at drawing trends. I use this guy here, which is the 20 EMA. I use a very specific type of 20 EMA, however. It's a volume weighted moving average with a 14, the standard roll. And then I use the high plus low plus close divided by 3 source. So this is my little secret sauce for my favorite indicator. So you can see here we crossed the 50 and we started buying on my buying and selling detector at the same time. So this is a lovely spot to initiate a long position. So now what I'm looking for now is for us to find a good seller up here and then kind of do the same thing. I like if I'm trailing, I like to trail behind this for my stops. So it works pretty nicely. So I have a couple of things I want to do today. Number one thing I want to do is tomorrow we are going to be having our psychology segment with Dr. V. And I want to make sure that we get some, I wanted to kind of get the top 5. That way we can kind of come into the segment with some things to talk about, and then we can have repartee. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Boring day trader. I like your moniker too. So that we kind of have some theme to come into this and some stuff we're going to talk about, and then we can have repartee around that. Maybe while we're waiting for stuff to move around a little bit, we could talk a little bit about what kind of questions you guys would like to ask for our psychology segment tomorrow, because I like to have those ahead. If you could if garbage trucks and Lambos people obviously get priority, but anyone in here, it's a very big session. Dr. V is a is a certified clinician. She has a doctorate in in neurobiology. She is a practicing cognitive behavioral therapist. So she's the real deal. So I thought it would be really nice to, have a couple of those. How to hold winners longer. That's a good one. What else? Do we have any others? Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff. Hard to believe we've got this many people in here and no one wants to add a question. Just saying, people, it's hard to come by. What do you mean with bias? Okay. How to handle no setup days. But when today is going to be a sell day, so how do I overcome that kind of a thing, Helga? Oh, okay. How to overcome bullish. I like that one. I need help with overcoming my bearish bias. I like to short a lot. Usual reason traders don't stick to rules or traders don't stick to plan. PLTR's money today, man. I'm telling you, PLTR is a great call. Go for ATR low on this one, 149. There's plenty of room. You got a monthly, you're in monthly resistance right now, so there's no reason this thing should bounce. How to stop strategy hopping. So that's good. All right, so I got 5. I'll take those. So now I can handle other ones that we're talking about as we go. So one of the ones I like, Dan, which is how to handle when a position goes against you and how to cut losses quickly. So, yeah, first off, for everyone, let me say that real quick. For anyone who didn't notice, I am now posting on my Instagram. I now have I'm doing like a market prediction every day that I'm posting up onto my IG. So talking every morning about what I'm seeing in the cam ranges and what I'm expecting. I can add some stock tickers to that if you'd like. And then I'm posting it on @ThorYoungMA. And I'm also posting it on ThorYoung @ThorYoung on X. So make sure to follow me there. If you don't mind, please like, share, subscribe. I'm really trying to um, do something that not a lot of people do. Like a lot of the social media peeps that are out there are more than happy to tell you about for instance, I love him to death, the Einstein of Wall Street. Every single morning, the Einstein, or every single afternoon after the close of the bell, he gets on there with his 1,000,000 followers and tells everybody what happened. But if you take 5 seconds and do some fundamental analysis, every person in this room has a pretty good idea of what happened. But for me, not a lot of people really are, willing to just come out and say what they think is going to happen or could happen today. right? And that's kind of, and that's so, and I'm willing to kind of, I do it based upon the Camarilla pivot structure. So based upon, yeah, Peter Tuchman, the Einstein of Wall Street. Great guy, by the way. Love his content, but I'm saying I think it's great content, but he's coming out every day telling you about, hey, it's the ceiling, it's the floor. Let me tell you what happened in the market today. It's great to know, but it's never going to be actionable. What happened today does not help tomorrow in any way, right? But based on the Camarilla pivot structure, I can give you a fairly decent idea on what my expectations are for the day as far as we trading based on these algorithms. Right. So for instance, PLTR was a lower narrow range. So because we closed lower than we did yesterday and we had a narrower range, it's expected that we likely consolidated. So today would be an expansion day. Right. So we opened in the mid range. So as soon as we got outside of S4, we hopped the fence. Right. We're looking to go towards, S6, which we hit S6 now. So technically target fulfilled. But because the range is narrow, it would be nice to actually swing for the ATR lows on this one to get a little bit better of a move. So, no, Frank, he's the best. Tugman's he's who I learned market making from, right? The reason why I know a lot about market making is because I've hung out with Peter Tuchman a number of times. When I go to the NYSE, he's my connection to get onto the floor, right? So he's a brilliant guy. I'm not in, and please don't take this as a dog in any capacity. I would never do so. All I'm saying is it's a lagging indicator, which is information that you could come by fairly regularly, if you really wanted to, right? You could just go out but very few people, because if you put your information out ahead of time, you're going to be measured against the market. But I don't care about that. I'm not really worried about whether I'm right or wrong. I'm just worried about telling you what I think will happen based upon the pivot structure. Right. So for me, yeah, exactly. And again, so today the underlying play idea, which it did not come to fruition, unfortunately, was that we were looking to long ES or SPY, and we were hoping to long around S3. Unfortunately, we just didn't get that much of a dip. We actually went down into the lower end of the CPR, and then we came through the 20 and started buying. I think we actually end up down at S3 at some point today. So you can see here now we're under the 20, and now we're consolidating. So this is a short setup now for me, because we've lost momentum and we've lost the 20 EMA. So if this holds under, we could be a short now, and that short would be at least to the CP, if not a full run all the way to S3 from this position. Because we opened in the lower half of the CPR, the CP, and then swept down, there's not really an expectation for me that we're going to do an R4 short. Plus, that's really far away, way up there beyond ATR high. So since I don't think we're going to be able to run out our ATR high and get to R4, then my expectation is we're going to end up going back inside and closing somewhere maybe even lower in the chart. Anyway. So I want to talk a little bit. So you trade SPY. Yeah, I trade ES, which is a SPY future. So yeah. So your Maxis 400 stock rule from the book is no longer valid. What do you mean? Like I don't trade stocks that cost more than $400? If I'm trading stocks, that's still a preference. But I will say, yeah, I still prefer to trade stocks that are in that price range. The problem with tickers that get over I'll trade Tesla, and Tesla's right at 400. Microsoft's right at 400, but like Microsoft, once you get above that, what happens is the spreads start getting nasty, right? So we start getting really poor spreads. And it's really hard, especially if you're trading stocks because of the spread. You get a lot of bad fills, right? Which is why you need to use something like DAS because they get you a lot of shares really fast with a good spread. But on things that naturally have a big spread, right? Ooh, NVIDIA's getting near R4. Right, right. Well, and I trade ES, right? I'm not even trading SPY. So when you're trading ES, there is no spread, right? It moves tick by tick. So anytime I take a position, I'm not really, and I only trade like maybe two contracts or one contract, right? So I don't have to worry about the spreads or fills when it comes to that as much. So I can play higher prices if the spread is good. You know what I mean? But the reason I will say, Sean, that I wrote my book, sorry. I started writing it in 2021. I published in 2022. And although that was only 4 or so years ago, most of the tickers we trade now are trading at significantly higher prices, but they still carry a good spread. It's like the stock market has inflated. You know what I mean? It's since my book, and I am going to work on a revision, I think, of my book at some point in the not so distant future. But you know, it's not in progress, but and because I need to kind of update some of those things to today's day. So look, so we came right back. So NVIDIA is, look at this thing going right up to 20. I mean, I love this EMA. So what I'm looking for here, the Qs are kind of moving up pretty well too. I'm looking for NVIDIA. This would be a nice short potentially. So the things I'd be looking for is I'd be looking for it to hit R4. I'd like to see a volume and then a loss of the 20. And if I could get those things to all happen, I'd be pretty into this. My pleasure, Dan, on answering the question, by the way. But yeah, I hope everyone's enjoying, and I appreciate it. Feel free to comment on the posts themselves. You know, for the kind of stuff. My goal is to keep these posts. You know, I do them around like 8:30 in the morning, and my idea is just to keep these posts relatively clean and short, like a minute and a half at most, just so you can get a quick, you know, hey, this is me. This is, you know, this is where we're looking to buy at today. But I'll try and add a couple of equity tickers into that too, ones I like. I'm not going to call out anything that doesn't have a potential cam play to it. So like I'll scan through though, and like, you know, I'll say like today I like, you know, ES and NQ for buys here and for here and here. Um, Yeah, I think so, Chris. I think I might try a reversal on NVIDIA later. If it gets a little higher, this one could be worth trying. I also may try I might try one on ES or NQ in a little bit too. But we have to lose the 20 for me to play. Thoughts on Tesla? Choppy today. Very choppy today. So it would be very difficult for me to give you a directional bias on Tesla today. It is, I would probably leave it alone. It definitely started here, but then it broke. But now it's back at it and it's under it, and we're in a selling range. So if anything, this would be a short for me with a stop above high of day. Because we were at R3 in a wide range. So we should go inside, and if they were going to go to R4, that probably would have happened. So I think plus the market looks like it's going to roll a little bit here. When I sign up for Trading Terminal, do I still need Trading View? I just think about my setup. I'm not sure. Trading Terminal and Trading View are very different things. Trading Terminal, it does have a simulator in it, but I don't. Does it trade, like, does it take real trades for you now? I haven't stayed focused enough on it. Let's look at Microsoft. Higher, wider range. I don't like Microsoft at all. I would leave it alone. This is a kill zone for this range. Being between S3 and S4 is a very choppy area. So I would probably leave Microsoft alone. If the market sells, it's probably a sell. Even though it's a higher, wider range, you've already lost the fourth level and have kind of consolidated around. So it's probably more of a sell. I like Hood. Hood didn't call today because it opened a little weird. But I was looking at it with one of my mentees because he's long off of S3 right now. And I thought it looked really good. So yeah, right off S3, yeah, the 20 cross there. You're under the 20 now. So, I mean, you've got to move all the way to the CP and almost to the open and then reject it and you're selling. So I'd be pretty comfortable getting out of this. If I would exit at whenever your next technical reason is, I would be willing to get out. This doesn't look, being below the 20 now makes this inherently bearish. Right. So for me, the 20 EMA is my delineation between bullish and bearish. Hey, what's up, Gonzalo? Right. So for me, I don't like being, if I'm gonna go long, I want to be away from it or above it. Right. So so you can see right here, PLTR crossed the 20 and it started buying in the volume at the same time right here. So I like being long there. But then you see here, we came down and crossed. And then we pulled back. As we pulled back, we were selling. So this for me actually looks inherently bearish right now. So Eric, I've used the 20 EMA for a really long time. I actually, if you look in my book, I actually talk about 20 EMA, 9 and 20 EMA crosses in my book. So I got off using it as much because I was just running ranges, but because of increasing my share volume size, it has become it's becoming how do I say this? Because of the large contract size, I needed a way to start trailing. So I've kind of gone back to my old 20. This is a very special 20 EMA, by the way, to me at least. It's not the standard. It's a volume weighted 20 and it's weighted with a 14 roll, similar to my ghost candles and my buying and selling detector. The source is a high, low, and close divided by 3, and it's a 20 length. And then I actually, in the style on this one, I actually use the EMA, the weighted EMA. It's called, this one's a free one, actually. It's not mine, and it's just called Moving Average Exponential. Um, Frank, love you, but no. Unfortunately, fortunately, sorry. So the necessity for the payment concept is because I have a developer who's building and maintaining and keeping up with all of this stuff. So in order for us to have CPP and RKL and AALs and all of this other stuff, in order for us to have these levels, I have to I will never likely give any of my indicators away for free. If anything, I think in time they will likely become more expensive. As we add, development to them. I mean, you can think about the pivot plays. I mean, if you get one trade off of it and make a few $100, it's paid for itself for months at this point, right? So, but it's for me, it's making sure that I'm way too honest sometimes, maybe Frank. So pardon that. But for me, the reality is because it's job security for us, for me. You know what I mean? I want to have this indicator. I want to have it working and running so people can use it. And I have to have a developer to keep it rocking and rolling and at the level it's at. So I gotta give Bros a little coffee. You know what I mean? So, or a lot of coffee, ideally. He does so much hard work too, y'all. You have no idea. Like this dude, like puts in. I mean, we've got. I don't know how much. Hey, what's up? Oh wait, he's here. Never mind. I won't talk about him. No, I mean, I can't tell you how many hours of development this dude has into this product or this service or whatever it's called. It's pretty wild. Right. So, I don't think I will. I mean, it's pretty fairly priced right now. So, but inflation is a thing. You never know if like the US dollar and the euro inverts more. I could go to a euro model. No, just kidding. Yeah, 1,000 hours maybe. I mean, that's incredible. So all right, so I'm thinking we're starting to look a little bit like a short now. We'll have a moment of truth here in a minute. We're almost going to start selling on the buying and selling detector, and we're about to lose the 20. Yeah, I'll show it to you again. This is my golden 20, so it's gold. The golden 20 it's a 20 EMA. Has a kind of a unique source. I might have Bruz make us our own EMA thing just to add to the suite of indicators. I think we should have a golden EMA. So you can see we have the HLC divided by 3, right? No offset. And then for the type, I'm using a volume weighted moving average, and I'm using a 14 period length. Look at how beautiful this works. Look at the wicks, the wicks. We bought back above it. Now we're back testing it, volume right as we're losing it. I mean, it's a good one. How to switch Trader Brain on for the season. Some cognitive therapy things we can do at home. I like that one. Things we can do to switch on our Trader Brain. I mean, for me, I'd go for numbers over price. So, if you guys can help me out with just sharing it and telling your friends about it and helping me get more people signed up for it, then that's all I really care about. I just want to make sure my guy Bruz is taken care of and that he's getting good value for the amount of effort that he's putting into this thing. So, he's a baller. So he deserves it. Aw, thanks, Ken. You're sweet. Now you got to think like there are black box algos out there that you can buy, and I mean these things are like $1,200, $1,500 a month, and they barely do what the buying and what the CPP does for you. It's you know what I'm saying? Like it's a thing. Like you can go out and get some of these big algos and quant algos and stuff, and they're not even really more sophisticated. They have a little bit more that they can do because they run them on their own black box, but we also run some of our stuff on our own black box. Speaking of the cool stuff Bruz is doing, we have a hold on one second. Um, we are currently beta testing right now our monthly pivot system. So what's going to happen soon? Oh crap. What's going to happen soon is we're going to actually have for swings. So we're actually going to split off the monthly cams are going to get split off of the main cam system, and we've rebuilt it from the Camarilla pivot plays. We're going to have the Camarilla pivot plays monthly, right? So basically it'll work with the monthly levels based upon the month's opening positions, closing positions, and all that jazz, right? And then we'll actually call off the monthlies. So if you like a little bit longer plays or you want to do swing trades now, like you can use that indicator for that, which I think is going to be great. Also, we're working on a call combiner, which is going to combine the data from the CPP and the buying and selling detector. So what'll happen is it'll actually read the data value between them and say, like, in order to go short, for instance, the buying and selling detector has to be selling or exhausting while the call is happening, or some things like that. So we are part of what you're paying for when you have that is the development. We're constantly looking at bringing on, we just released a new play call system that happened. We're now calling 6-level plays on different inversions. We have a stat group that we're utilizing that we're constantly tracking which tickers are performing or not performing well across varied sectors, right? So that we know which tickers are the right tickers. So we'll take tickers on and off our watch list at times based upon that information. I mean, it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's really cool. So look at the loss of the 20 on NQ. Look how well that worked, right? We lost the 20. As soon as we lost it, we started selling. We're making a new low now. So now for me, if as long as we stay under the 20, this ticker is now inherently bearish to me. Or at least in the price action. Like, this is my price leader, right? If I'm going to go short, I ideally want to be short after we lose the 20. And then you can run your stop above high of day, and then go for like the CP or something. There are two huge values Thor has. CPP tells you have clear flights. He gives out his time. That's true. I take shorts on exhaustion on BSD with no BSD cross, but notice that it's safer. Right. So Gonzalo, exhaustion just means exhaustion, right? So getting in on the exhaustion event is going to give you the best entry price-wise. Getting in once it starts selling is going to give you the best entry confirmation wise, right? Like there's no guarantee that because you get large exhausting volume that we stop going up, right? It just means we stop going up for very long, right? When you know what I'm saying? Like we don't go up for a really long time. Like well if but we can still struggle higher. And actually that struggle higher is often what we're kind of looking for our mean reversions, right? We see it pushed back to the order, right? And then we do our thing. Yeah, always is safer for sure. It depends too, like on the calls. Like for instance, if you were only trading SPY, like and it was the only thing you traded and you only took SPY when SPY had a cam call, you actually would be having an insanely good couple of months. So it's just like, it depends too. Like one of the things that I notice is the vast majority of my profit comes off of just trading the indexes. And I trade futures obviously mostly now anyway, but it still holds true. Go back to hood. Yeah, I mean, it's working. So see, it just came through the 20, just kind of rode the 20 for a second, bounced off yesterday's close. Now we're moving up. I mean, good stuff. The markets has rolled over a little bit, but has not given up. So you can see that we did sell and these sell candles were fairly truncated. They weren't like really strong sell candles, but we are more bearish right now price-wise. So I would certainly not want to be long anymore. Does the market really care about Camarilla pivot points? I hope so. So the how do we say this? How to say Camarilla pivot points are a where, not a when. So the algorithm that mostly mines them is not an algorithm that initiates, but rather responds. Right? So when we're talking about Camarilla pivots, that's kind of more of what we're talking about, is it's not just good enough that it's not really in the area, right? So like if you want to get a good sell, then you're going to want that sell to occur in a certain range on the cams because the cams are what's being used by like the offering algo at like CME, right? But it's just offering, right? Like you need to, so if it's in R3, for instance, and while we're at R3, an institutional trader sells, the algorithm is going to move on a lower, wider range. The algorithm is going to respond by offering lower immediately, right? But the cams are the offering algo, not the generating algo, right? This is why it's important to combine them with volume, right? To actually look for us to cross moving averages or trend lines or use something to identify where volume is happening. And then when you see volume, depending on the range you're in, that's how you can make a decision. Yeah, I agree with that, Ken. But I mean, the market doesn't really care about anything, right? All that's really cared about, right, is Um, yeah, the market doesn't really care about anything. It just cares about transactional potential. Look at that, right? Look at that beautiful offer retest of the 20. Oh yeah. Yeah, let me look at RTY. I saw that before and then I forgot. Like, let's say we wanted to trade. Yeah, the RVR is definitely different. It's a higher, wider range. So I doubt we get to R4 on this one. It's a wide range, so I'd still expect to close near the CP. So, but right now, we still haven't engaged our sellers. We have, and on RTY, we're still quite bullish. So for RTY right now, for me, I would still be a continuation. We'll see if it gets higher. But right now, because we're also, you have to remember statistically, we're making new highs of day after 10:30. So there may not be a large reversal today. We could just get stuck up here. HIMS is higher narrow, and we failed a breakout attempt. So, and we're currently under average right now. So it looks like it's a short, at least for the moment. All the volume is on the sell side. So I have no reason to think this is a buy right now. So if I was in HIMS, I would stay short. You've already exceeded what would be your ATR lows and highs. So that's kind of obvious. That doesn't really matter now. You're deviating. So I would play this at least to the CP. If not, I mean, it's a narrow range, so you could run out the range bottom. You could end up back at like S3 or S4 today. PLTR? Probably, unless something's changed. Hmm. It's really having trouble getting enough momentum to the downside, but that's the market's fault. I would hang on. I think this still looks good. I would go for ATR low still. I wouldn't, I mean, if it buys and makes like a new high above like 152, maybe get out. But I wouldn't cut it yet. I mean, it's just above the 20 and it's not like it's been above it a few times and it didn't claim it. So I think it's just because it's consolidating, it's just caught up in the spaghetti right now. But like the market really looks like it's got some ideas about selling right now. And if the market sells more, I think PLTR can go. I mean, it did make the movement all the way to S6. So, I mean, it got most of the move we were looking for. So, did NVIDIA make it up to R4 yet? Nope. It is rolling over its average, though. We bought really well right up to this level, but we've lost our buyers, and we have definitely engaged selling. Our VPA is reading much more selling than buying here. So if the market rolls over, but the market may be waiting for NVIDIA. NVIDIA's got a pretty big chunk. So, but we're under the price right now. Like I would, like on you're kind of a Chris, your thing is a back to the 20, right? So we would need to sell and get away from this thing and then come back to it. But I think we're gonna sell. It looks like we're rolling over and we're under the 20 now, so I'd expect to sell. With swing trading shares, what do you do if the lower time frame says not a buy, but the higher time frame says it's not a buy? I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, you should play it in the way that it needs to be played, right? So, I mean, if it's a longer time frame buy, but I mean, maybe having the two of those together would be better. Watch it on the intraday for your entry and say, I want it, okay, it's at S3 on the month, but on the intraday, I'm in a selling range right now. So I don't think I want to buy S3 on the month. I'm going to go ahead and let it get lower and I'll buy it in the intraday range a little bit below S3 or something like that, for instance. We tried to sell right there on the Qs and they absorbed it. But if we move much lower than this, that should be it. So you can see we've been consolidating here for quite a while. So we tried to buy away and we immediately came back. But who knows? We definitely, we're right up in the top end of the CPR. So, we've moved pretty good distance away from the CP. And we're having a lot of trouble getting buyers to come in here in any reasonable way. Once we got through the kind of the pre-market high and bought the order that was there, we've kind of just been struggling since. Yep, 20 EMA. This is my price sentiment. Like for me, like right now, because we're getting under the 20 EMA, and we're having, for me, if I'm above the 20 EMA, I'd prefer to be long. If I'm gonna go short, I want to either be really extended from the 20 or under it. Kind of the same way I use the BSD. I want to be either really extended and buying or yeah. Crude is along? Let's look. I mean, it's lower wide, so I'd prefer to be short on it today, but I mean, it is looking a little more bullish on the price. And if the market starts to sell, crude tends to inverse the market right now. But I would have a lot of trouble. I've kind of sworn off crude for a little while. I like playing crude, but not with all of the war stuff that's going on. It's made crude just way too volatile. There's always something. So we're trying to buy off the 20 again. So you can see we're just kind of stuck up in the spaghetti right now. This is a consolidation. We really don't have any directional choices being made right now. So anytime your 20 is flat, you know you're not really trending. So if you are selling, you want to sell as high as possible on this range. If you're going to buy, you want to buy as low as possible. So like right here would be almost inactionable because you're not high enough to go short. You're not low enough to buy. You're right in the middle. So if you're looking for like a short or a long, you would actually want to see it like either sell, you know, like buy up and make a new high. You could buy there, stop, something like that. But right now, because of the way the VPA looks on this thing, that buy looks like it started buying again a little bit. But the VPA right now, for the most part, seems to me like we're still going to sell. We had a strong buy here, a lot of volume for such a small candle. And then again, a lot of volume for a small candle. And then here, a lot of volume, less volume for a similar candle. A lot of bigger candle, smaller volume. And then again, big candle, small volume. So anytime we're buying, the candles are kind of not big enough. But when we sell, the sell candles seem fairly appropriate. That could be bigger. That was absorbed. That was absorbed. But like this one was good. You can see why it's better to sell up high. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's a lower likelihood that it'll sell off because of the high after 10:30. So like I wouldn't expect to go all the way back to low of day today. Like if I went short here, I'd look to short maybe back to like the CP. Oh, oh, oh man, I'm tired. Had a late night with my daughter last night. Time change for someone who doesn't understand time is always a really fun thing. But she's a party girl. And then yesterday we were, I was just dad lifing it hard yesterday. So it was a lot. Nice. No, like, you know, my daughter's on the spectrum, and obviously I can't go up to her and say, "Hey, honey, we got to go to bed earlier because it's daylight savings time." You know, she's got her own clock. I was like, okay. There goes I'm in queue again. I like futures more because of the rate of return of regular equities too. Yeah, same. All right, we got about 5 minutes left on this session. So as we're kind of starting to wrap things up, just kind of some reminders to everybody. First off, I have a new market forecast that I'm doing every single day now in the mornings. So at Thor Young on Twitter, at Thor Young MA on Instagram are the two places you can follow me for that. So a minute to a minute and a half in the morning, just me talking about the cam ranges, what I'm seeing, and what my expectations are for the day. I will add in some stocks so that you all can kind of just get a general idea of that from me in the mornings. So make sure you're subscribed to my socials. I am working on putting a YouTube channel together that should be out pretty soon. We're going to start building content for it, and then we'll put it out. So it's going to be the Market Alchemists. Is going to be the channel. So it's already technically there and has one video on it. I'm just not putting it out there yet. So yeah, awesome. But so I think like come by and the thing, if y'all don't mind, is if you could just help me out by liking, subscribing obviously, but liking and sharing and just kind of getting the word out about it. I'm going to try and, I'm trying to kind of build my social media presence a little bit, so it would be very helpful. And kind of like I was saying, most people are willing to tell you what they think is happening after the market, but very few people are willing to give you a prediction of what they think could happen in the market today. Yesterday, I predicted that I talked about us buying off of S4. That worked very well. Today, I talked about buying off of S3. That did not work as well because we didn't make it to S3. But it was still a buy day, and on the higher, wider day, still aligned. So if anything, it gives you an expectation of what kind of day we should be looking for, range day versus a trending day, or and stuff like that. So hopefully y'all enjoy the material. Make sure you can yeah, make sure you are, you like it and all that stuff. So we can do that. Fun. Yeah, I'll work on the YouTube and I'll post it to YouTube also. I'm okay with challenging questions to a degree, as long as they, I'm not going to answer the questions in the videos as much, but I'm happy to respond in the comments as long as they're reasonably, linked questions, if that makes sense, because I'm not really looking to like sit there for like an hour answering questions, because I do that here. So, but I am definitely down with, answering like little things like, what do you think about this ticker? What do you say on this sentiment or something like that? That all works. CRCL? I like it. I like that it topped off of R4. I like that we lost we lost our EMA for a few minutes, but we're back above it right now, so it's still a little strong in the price action for me for the short. Mostly just cams and then a 50 EMA. I also have some really key levels, ATR high and stuff like that. Like I like this for a short. It's in a great spot. I mean, ATR high right in the cam area. So if we can find a good seller here, right now we're still buying too much. And we're still above the 20. So I would want to see this lose the 20 and start selling. And if that's the case, I think this would be a lovely spot to get short. Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, tomorrow is going to be Wednesday, should be a psychology segment tomorrow. So I hope everyone comes by and hangs out with me and the good doctor. I already have some canned questions, stuff we can talk about and ask. Again, social medias, make sure to follow, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Book a complete day trading system. If you need me, you can always email me, thor@bearbulltraders.com. I hope you have a great rest of your trading day. And as always, people, much love and keep it green. I'll talk to you soon.